What's going on, and welcome into your casual gaming news conversation for this week. I'm Nick, that's Connor, and this is your weekly gaming news podcast from Co-op64. Connor, it feels like it's been a century since we've been on this desk hanging out talking about gaming news. Last one was from home before I traveled. The one before that was, I believe, at home, or
it was in LA.
It was in LA. Yeah. Jeez, man. And so yeah, it's been a minute.
And
How
then
you
we
doing?
filmed CGC for SGF breakdowns. That was like last Tuesday, so that was
it's been literally forever since we've been back in the normal flow of things. I'll start. It's been a weird week, man. Like being like, oh yeah, like normal work again. Obviously Disco Elysium in the morning puts that in a weird spot, and
you're also just coming down from all the excitement around SGF and all the showcases. It's a weird feeling for sure.
It's a weird feeling, and then also you throw in the conversation that we've had for 3 months on the show is always started with, so how do you feel about the Strokes single? How do you feel about these Strokes concerts? And now I've seen them, and now I'm addicted, and I'm going to go 3 times.
Is that the best set of Bonnaroo for you?
No, the best set of Bonnaroo is Geese.
Hell yeah.
Dude. For Andrew, who I went to the show with, he said Andrew's seen hundreds of shows. Best show he's ever seen, he said.
I just got chills. I'm so excited.
It's going to be awesome. Do you see the whole schedule for Shaky?
Yeah, it's rough.
It does not help the boys as much as I wish it did.
You told me that Japanese Breakfast backed out to go on tour with Olivia Rodrigo. I was looking over the schedule and I was like, where's Japanese Breakfast? And then that information popped into my brain. I was like, fuck, I'm really disappointed that I'm not
couldn't get to see them. I mean, but I'm excited for it nonetheless. For me, I sort of have submitted the fact that like I'm going on that Sunday. It's an LCD Sunday for me. I've seen Gorillaz before, so it makes it a little bit easier for my choice and everything.
I want to get to a lot of these shows and bands that I want to see, and I'm willing to get a worse spot to see everybody. I'm going to go LCD into Gorillaz, and I'll try to get a good spot for LCD, knowing that I'm going to be way far in the back for Gorillaz.
For me, the big one is I'm going to be obviously Geese into Turnstile into Strokes. I feel like that's the common thing that most people are going to be doing on that day.
On different stages, right?
Turnstile into the Strokes are on the same stage. Okay. Geese is on a different stage. Literally, there is a very realistic chance that during the last song by Geese, I dip out, because the last song by Geese, spoiler, it's Trinidad. And that I didn't tell you this story. I got trampled during that song. I had maybe a dozen people fall on top of me. I had to like
it's traumatizing.
It's scary. I had to reach out, and also it was muddy, dude. So my entire backside was just dookie mud all on my back. You gotta
be ready for it.
But
I've seen videos, and I know how crazy it gets.
But I did. I reached out, and some dude just like grabbed, not my hand, he grabbed my wrist, and he's like, "You're coming back up, dude. Toss back up. Let's fucking go!" Like we were all losing it,
maybe
man.
I'll try to go further back during that song and just not be in all the chaos, but still get it.
But then it's going to be, for me, the first Strokes set post-album. We were talking a little bit about that, and I'm going to try to get as good of a spot as humanly possible for that set. I'm addicted. Like, I'm legitimately addicted. I get in the car, and I'm like, man, new Olivia Rodrigo album. Listen to that once. I'm like, cool. You want to know what I want to listen to now? The Strokes. Like, even though I love that album and everything. So yeah, no, but I'm doing all right. It's been a very chaotic week. Disco Elysium in the morning, just it makes my days go by so fast. The day starts, I do Disco Elysium in the morning, I do lunch, I work out, and then all of a sudden it's 3 o'clock, and I go, where did the day go? Like and then there's been multiple times where it's like, and I got stream at 7, so that means backup stream from 5:30 on. It gives me like that small pocket of like, hey, do this literal one thing or 2 things, and then the rest of the day is just gone. But it's been a really good week getting back into the flow of things. How are you doing, man, just in general and everything?
I'm doing all right. We have this Friday off. Happy Juneteenth. So that's nice to have more of a weekend. But unfortunately, with the way the schedule worked out, I already had this Friday off. So it takes away some of the joy of having a holiday. But it's nice to have a little bit more time. I did run some cryo yesterday with the boys, me, Lee, and Slevas, a newer community member, just owning cryo, dude.
Just owning it.
We were shredding fools.
We
were PvPing, we were opening up some vaults, getting the armory, our vaults stock up, which I needed badly. I had one purple shield that I was rocking with. Now I got a slew of them for more cryo this weekend, but it was a lot of fun. But I'm at the point with Marathon where like I get on for a few hours and I'm comfortable just stepping away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I'm like I got my fill for the day. I'm not
Okay.
like gonna be grinding out 10-hour days every single day that like cryo's available.
I got asked a couple questions during this week of streaming. They were like, are you going to get back to The Witcher 3 and are you going to get back to Mina? Were the two games that
I'll get back to Mina for sure. And as I said on the podcast before, hell or high water, I'm finishing The Witcher 3. I did play 30 minutes last weekend. I had a really bad weekend last weekend health-wise. I just felt kind of down and out. So it's tough to want to play something that's so in-depth with the jargon and the writing. Like it was difficult for me to follow in that 30 minutes. And I was like, I'm not enjoying this to the full extent that I would like to. So I'm just going to put this down and play something a little bit more comfortable. And that's kind of remained the case for the last couple of weeks where I've just been up and down pretty regularly. So I'm going to play what's just easy and digestible, like your marathon, like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on Switch 2, just because it's not a chore in any capacity to play those games. It's very easy to sink into for me. So, but this weekend, I do want to play more The Witcher 3. Unfortunately, I got off of Marathon last night, ate some dinner, was going to play The Witcher 3, and I got a terrible headache. So I was like, I once again, that's preventing me from wanting to sit down and sink some time into this. Instead, I went into the living room and started watching Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, shit.
Unfortunately, it was a bit late at that point, and I got sleepy halfway through. That movie is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I am infatuated with this world and the style, the sauce, the atmosphere. Holy shit. I might be watching my favorite movie of all time right now.
Yeah.
It's slow, but like even in the slow moments, I was talking to Laura, like I feel like I could pause and just look at all the intricacies of the environments and the tech and the grime and just like pontificate on like what is the story here, like what is this piece of tech that they're not explaining, but like it just helps flesh out the world so well. Like I just want to be in this space, this dystopian, disgusting future that is just so entrancing. Like I'm only halfway through and like I'm already in love with it. I hope it
it's
continues.
a long movie, right?
Yeah, it's like almost 3 hours. Yeah. But I haven't watched a ton of Denis Villeneuve's movies. What else has he made?
Dune is the one that comes to mind.
Did
obviously.
You Prisoners too?
That checks actually. Did you ever see Prisoners?
Yes.
You know my Prisoner story, right?
Love it. I thought it was good. Yeah, with Nana.
Yep. Shout out to NK for watching Prisoners.
So I've watched Dune 1 and really loved that movie. And Laura and I have been talking about watching Dune 1 and 2 to get ready for Dune 3. I did not see Dune 2 in theaters, which I'm kicking myself over.
They're going to re-release it before. Yeah. And you are going to watch that movie in the theater.
Okay. I will probably watch it at home.
You're not allowed to, dude. No. That movie has to be seen in a theater.
With Blade Runner, I do feel that that's probably a similar situation, that it would be best in a theater to capture the scale of this world. But I did start watching it on my phone. I've been watching a lot of movies on my phone at work, but very passively. Like I'm not like watching it just locked in. Like I'm glancing over, I'm listening to it at times. Like I'm on my forklift, I don't want to look at my phone, obviously. So that is very dangerous. So I'm basically using these movies as like kind of a podcast. I watched Roofman this week.
I don't know that one.
It's with Channing Tatum breaking out of prison.
Oh, I've seen clips of that
exactly.
on TikTok.
A lot of the stuff that I'm watching at work, I've basically already watched in their entirety through clips on TikTok, but I feel bad about not having seen the whole thing. So I'm just like, I already know what's going on, so I don't have to be locked into this, so I can just kind of let it play in the background. That movie is fine, entirely fine.
Yeah, exactly.
The first half of it is way more interesting than the second half. That man is simultaneously one of the smartest people on the planet and also the dumbest person I've ever seen navigate this world. So that was a bit frustrating. And then I rewatched Good Will Hunting, had a good cry. Haven't watched that since college, which is a travesty that I waited so long to watch it in the first place. Man, that movie is fantastic. I love Matt Damon. He is an absolute powerhouse. So I carried on with the Matt Damon shenanigans into Rounders, which is another movie that I've watched on TikTok a whole bunch.
I've never seen Rounders. I've seen all Rounders. I've seen every scene Rounders.
Really good movie. And once again, I just like Matt Damon and him being a Boston guy. Like I just get like warm vibes from him. Like it makes me feel like I'm watching somebody that I grew up with or like from my hometown.
Are you a fan of the Ocean's movies?
I've watched the first one with Brady. He came up and visited in 2020 during COVID. Yeah. When everyone was on lockdown. So he came up in late 2020. Maybe it was 2021, right before we moved back to Ohio. And still drinking at that point. We were pretty sauced up
Just
from
watch.
a night out, and we watched Ocean's 11, and he fell asleep and I finished it, which is kind of a consistent trend I'm realizing in our
Oh, yeah.
relationship, because that happened back in college, or back right before college with Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
I was living on my own. We got into the
Shenanery.
I don't want to be
Shenanigans.
specific, but he ends up falling asleep. I watch all of Pulp Fiction, and I end up getting to the end and waking him up. And I'm like, dude, this movie is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it's
And
Pulp
same thing
Fiction.
happened with Ocean's 11, where he falls asleep, and I get to the end of it, and I'm like, I just watched The Great Pretenders or it might be The Great Pretender, an anime on
Okay.
Netflix, and they do the same thing in
Yeah.
that that's also a heist show
Oh,
as well.
nice.
They do a very similar situation and trick to get into and out of an area
Yeah.
at the end of Ocean's 11. I made that connection. I was like, that was really cool. So
Yeah.
like, I wonder if that was directly inspired by that. But yeah, I like Ocean's 11. I would like to see the other ones I've heard. Is 12 and 13 better?
I think Ocean's 11's the best of the trilogy, but I think this was freshman year of college. We watched all three, and I like talk about like not one of the. It might be one of the best, just one of those movies that like I could watch forever. Like it is so entertaining. The characters and their dynamics are so good. It reminds me a lot of the writing of Reservoir Dogs, where I'm like, I just like hearing these people talk. Just
Yeah.
nonstop. And then obviously heists are always cool and fun and everything. But the way that the cast develops in these movies is also a great time. Ocean's 12, there's the scene with the music and the very flexible person. If you know, you know. That scene and that song, every now and then I'll be setting up around here and I'll turn that song on just because for some reason it tickles something in my brain that makes me so happy. You got to watch Ocean's 12 one day. You'll have a great
How
time.
do you feel about Blade Runner?
I've never seen it.
Oh, you've never
Yeah,
seen it?
so this was you remember my buddy Andrew Connor back in college, right?
Mhm.
All-time favorite movie. So I've heard this man talk about it hundreds of times and never seen it. I know it's a slow burn and everything. I will watch it eventually.
Yeah.
For me, the hard part right now is I am in a weird spot with media. I am consuming what feels like so fucking much right now between the two games that I'm streaming. Correction, the 3 games that I'm on the sticks for at this point streaming. And then you threw in the fact that I just beat God of War, the Valkyries on Tuesday. It's like, dude, like I feel like I'm playing too much. I feel like after the fact, when I am not playing anything, I'm going to YouTube more often, like than anything else, checking out random streamers and random stuff. Like I'm not really into like a meaty piece of content right now, and I know what the result's going to be. And I'm really terrified about it. It's gonna be me watching Love Island. Like I know Love Island's happening. I'm getting a bunch of TikToks about it and these cast of characters and everything, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this again, aren't I? 3 years running. But no, I am feeling like there's so much right now, and I'm very excited for Star Fox next week. That's gonna be the thing
Can't
that I
believe
can
that's next week.
latch
So
onto
soon.
and be like, oh, that is going to help ground me. This June has been the longest month of my life, and also the short. Like, I'm like, how the fuck is it June? The year's gone by so fast, but then again, I'm like, every single day it feels like there's been a massive event. So yeah, no, but I also, speaking of the overload of stuff, you bring up marathon as that comfort food. Yesterday, I did have like an hour and a half, and I decided to use that time to play Valorant because I didn't think I would be able to get through the Nibelheim incident for Rebirth, which I re-downloaded, but
On PS5.
on PS5, yeah, I'm not. I like if I have it there, you know, might as well play it over the
Proposition
Switch.
for you. I don't know what your financial situation is here, but like,
Just get a
you
PS5
said
Pro.
you're gonna get a PS5 Pro for Revelation.
I think I'm just gonna play it on PC. I have a freaking very nice PC.
I don't think it's better than a PS5 Pro.
It's got to be close.
Yeah,
It's got to be
probably
really close.
pretty
Like
close.
it is. I mean, that PC was expensive.
You're comfortable with playing a game that might be 100 hours at your desk?
Yeah.
Alright.
We'll see. I think I might get a Pro. But like it really just depends on.
There's just a lot of end of generation games that I think are gonna sing on the Pro.
Yeah,
you got GTA 6 at the end of the year.
Yep, GTA 6.
You got Intergalactic
Yep,
and God of War
yep.
next year, which I feel like
Do you think both
would
those
be
hit next
very
year?
much enhanced by the Pro? Yeah, I do.
I think that.
I think that we see Laufey in the first quarter of 2027. The way that Schreier has been talking about
I
it,
think that we
and the way
see
they've
it.
been marketing it since announcement just leads me to think that it is soon.
Yeah, I think that not first quarter. I think May.
Okay.
You know, like it's
And
summer blockbuster.
November, I think, is Intergalactic, and the rumors going around right now is that they are pushing the PSX.
Yeah, which
which they have to.
They have to.
And I don't even think it's like a bad decision from like the gamer standpoint. Nobody wants this shit right now.
Yep, no one wants it. No one has money.
Nobody can afford it. Yeah.
Yep.
You're gonna put out a $900 base console because of the component shortage, and then hopefully get it down to a more affordable price later on, like, and just bank on the fact that the components are going to come down eventually. Like, I just don't think that's smart. It's a bad PR hit. You wait for the AI bubble to hopefully pop, which I really do think that just all the news around AI lately makes me think that like everyone's just fed up with this shit.
Yeah,
and they're not making any money on it. So like
that's the big one.
Something's got to happen at some point soon. And I think the patient companies who stayed away from AI, and if you're a gaming company, are willing to push your plans for hardware down the line and ride this really solid hardware that we got out right now. Like the PS5, like games that are coming out, like I'm not like, oh, these could look so much better if we had a PSX. Like I don't feel that way at all.
Saros is a prime example for me, where I'm like the art direction and the amount of particle effects and ray tracing and that, like all the bells and whistles that are in that game, it still looks amazing. And so, I don't think that we need it right now by any means. But no, I'm excited to figure out what my plan is with this generation, because as we get more news, it becomes more clear of like what we want to do when it comes to whether I'm going to rock that box or not. We're also like potentially, by the time we shoot this next show, we might know about the Steam Machine pricing and all this shit. Like by the time we shoot this next show, the spoilers, story number 3, which is kind of story number 2, story 1 and 2 are a sandwich piece. Story number 3 is going to be story number 1 next week. Like it's going to just be talking about all the information we receive on the GTA 6 trailer and
is that confirmed?
I don't think there's
pre-orders are next week.
Pre-orders are next week, June 25th, and so it really comes down to the fact. You got to get a trailer out and everything. You can't. Jacob, just a shout out to Jacob Stevens, friend of the channel, just made a great video being like, we haven't fucking seen gameplay yet, and they're gonna make so much money.
I've been saying this since the release of GTA 5. Like, I think they could show the box art, or maybe even just show the title and release the game, and it would sell the exact same.
I mean, the box art looks great though, so I'm
we'll talk
all for it.
More about this.
But no. Right now, to get back to this though, I need to find time to play Rebirth, because I called up Matt, and Matt, he is often disappointed in me, and I disappointed him so badly by saying this. Where I go and look at Matt and I said, I have time. I have time this summer.
Why did you restart?
I don't need to restart. I could go like 6 chapters in or wherever the fuck I was.
You were on chapter 3.
No, I got further than that. I was in June on for sure.
So I think you're in chapter 4.
Maybe 5. I think I got through the Yuffie section of getting. But anyways,
you don't want to play on hard mode? Or?
I'm going to play on hard mode. Okay. It's been 2 years since I played the fucking game.
I know, but like,
I don't want to just hop back in. I want to play the full fucking game back on hard.
I'm currently blazing through the grasslands, but still doing all the side content.
Nice.
But I'm skipping all the cutscenes because I played it so recently on PS5 Pro.
Yeah. So for me, I want to go and do all the stuff. But I looked at him and I was like, hey, I have the time. Persona 3 Reload would make a lot of sense to utilize this time for, because I just am not like, there's not a lot of games that I want to review or stuff like that. And he's like, Nick, you should do that. You should play Rebirth instead. Like, you should go and finally have because we go back 2 years. It was like all I had time for was new shit. Like, it was just going to the next thing, whether it was stream, but most importantly, just the games that I was playing off stream to try to get like more knowledge in me. And so now it's like, okay, like the top 50 series is over. Like, I'm not in a race anymore to play like elite games. Still want to play a lot of elite games, but I have a little bit more time on my hands. And so I think that this summer is going to be the summer of Rebirth, giving myself like an hour or 2 in the day, the late night stuff, and then obviously continue doing Disco Elysium and Vice City and Gears. Dude, Gears, oh my gosh, I'm excited to talk more Gears with you. I'm excited to talk all this stuff with you, man. It's gonna be an entertaining show. So let's just get into it. Housekeeping for you, Patreon.
Let's just get into it. We're 20 minutes in.
Let's get straight into it. No extra.
I do want to speak on this real fast because it keeps coming up in the comments on both YouTube and on Spotify about the Yap session in the beginning. It seems like anytime we talk about this and the validity of it, the overwhelming opinion is that people like it.
Yep.
there's a few individuals who are frustrated by it, and I apologize to those individuals that this isn't exactly what you're looking for from this podcast, but we do put the time codes in for you to skip to what you are, the meat of the podcast, what you're actually looking for. But I'm not going to remove the app session at the start of it. We find it enjoyable, and many others seem to find it enjoyable as well. So
to be clear, this is the time that we get to catch up. Like, Connor rolls in, puts his bag of shit down, starts doing the thing. I'm setting up, we're going, we're doing this whole thing. Maybe we're eating some food before we get going, and then we go. Hey, record, cool. How's your week been? And like, that's literally our time to really catch up and hang out. And we
also, people want to hear our opinions on The Strokes or Blade Runner 2049. Like, we're media content creators, and we like stuff outside of video games, just like you probably like stuff outside of video games. It's enjoyable to hear takes from these creators that might be in one lane, but you would value their opinion on something that is in another lane. Like, I like when video game creators like talk about sports.
Well, I was about to say,
cool. Like, I love that shit too.
We've had multiple people in their Patreon signups say, I like that you guys talk no ball. It's one of those things that
we're talk about ball today.
Yeah,
probably.
Dude. Football?
In an analogy way, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. Interesting. I'm curious to see where you go with that. Anyways, patreon.com/coop64 gets you this show 3 days early, gets you the casual gaming conversation 3 days early, and a bonus episode of the casual gaming conversation each and every week. Great episode. Me and Matt breaking down his gaming history was a lot of fun.
I gotta watch that.
Oh, dude. Matt is terrific, man. Matt makes me feel like such a dummy every single time I'm on a microphone.
There's so many great content creators and individuals that make me feel so stupid, and I was so intimidated by. But it's just a respect thing.
Yeah.
It's just man, like, they are so good at this and so much smarter than I am that I'm worried about shooting something with them, because I'm like, they're gonna make me look foolish.
Yeah,
but I'm comfortable doing it anyways.
Well, there's no one more comfortable looking a fool next to Matt Lucid than myself. So it was a great conversation. And then you also have most anticipated games for the summer, where me and Matt shot that too. A lot of great content in the backlog. It is confirmed Connor and Jacob did both tie for first. Y'all are rolling in, all of you, with a lot of con bucks into this next bang special.
You mean co-op coins?
Co-op coins, yeah. There we go.
The original name.
Yes, co-op coins. Dude, freaking a lot of them. Like 13K for you, 13K for Jacob. So
I'm gonna be slinging bets.
Rogue is over 10K. Java and Brady both over 8K.
But we don't get a prize this time around.
You don't get a prize. So the way it's gonna work is Connor versus Jacob. That is gonna be a side bet. Whoever wins between you two on this next special will get this first initial prize. Then there'll be another prize for all you guys.
Could have really used that prize yesterday. Quick sidebar here, as we just continue to put off the actual podcast.
I wonder why we want to put it off.
I wanted to talk about this in the start, but I went to the game store yesterday, and I was talking to you about this before we started shooting, but I didn't tell the whole story. I'm going around Arcade Legacy. Shout out Arcade Legacy in Sharonville. We're posting Recollecting Retro for
tomorrow.
That store and the haul that I got there tomorrow, like you said. But I went back yesterday, and there's like two routes for me when it comes to going to the game store. I either buy a whole bunch of cheap games within my budget, or I buy one expensive game that might be a little bit over budget, but it's a highly sought after title that I want to add to the collection. But the way I go into Arcade Legacy is I go through the cheaper stuff on the outskirts of the store, go through all the different catalogs, Xbox 360, PS3, PS2. There are some games that are locked away in cases that are more expensive, but not the crazy expensive stuff that's over to the left side. And usually I'll check there first. But I get a fat stack of 5 or 6 games.
Nice.
I wanted to say 6 or 7, but I get Gears of War Judgment, $7. I get Resident Evil 6. That was like $10. So like, I'm getting closer and closer to $50. X-Men on the Genesis was the most expensive thing that I had there, $30. But I'm about to go to the counter. I had asked somebody to grab something out of the case for me earlier, and I have the stack of games. And over by the checkout counter, there is the new arrivals, but the more expensive new arrivals. I think they'll just immediately put out the cheaper stuff, but they'll have that case there for more sought after titles. And as many people know, as I've talked about on the podcast and on Recollecting, I've been trying to collect all of the PS1 Squaresoft games. That studio was on a legendary run during that generation. So I'm sitting there, I have like $50 worth of games. I'm like, I'm gonna get out of here with not too much damage to the wallet.
Much damage, yeah.
And then I see Eargeys, I don't know how to say this, a PS1 fighting game that includes Cloud and Sephiroth in it, that I've never seen in a store. And it's one of those situations where like I have to buy this no matter what. It's one of the 3 games that I have left to fill out that collection. I still need Threads of Fate and Chocobo Dungeon 2. And those aren't like crazy expensive. They're pricey, but they're not like
insane.
I think this was the most expensive title.
How much was it?
It's $90.
Oh, it's not too bad.
So it's not crazy, but it's like, man, I thought I was gonna get out
there with 50 bones.
Not doing too much damage, and then I see that right at the end, and like, fuck! And I'm not gonna ask them to put back all the games that they got out for me, and I also don't want to put them back myself as well. So I'm like, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and buy all of these.
Sometimes you gotta do it, man.
It's like I'm in too deep. I gotta go.
Speaking of Recollection Retro, $10 tier, you get Recollection Retro, the Co-op 64 podcast, and you get to write into Casual Gaming Conversation and Casual Gaming News Conversation. At the $25 tier, you get to go and write into potentially be the 4th member on the Co-op 64 podcast and get your topic read. And you also get to have your name read at the end of each and every podcast we do here at Co-op 64. Twitch streams, a lot for you in the next couple weeks, especially next week is definitely the largest one that we have. We have Monday, Disco Elysium in the morning, and then at night, Gears of War, me and Connor, Gears 2, having a great time, continuing our playthrough there. Attempting to beat that in the next 2 weeks, which we'll see if we can get that done. It's going to be
unfortunately technical difficulties last week that cut the stream early.
Yeah. Funny enough, right now, I love that we're using OBS the way that we are because we're recording, but my internet is definitely out right now. Yeah. So it's all good though because I've already pulled the right in, so we're all set there. But anyways, technical difficulties held us back, which was annoying. But it's all
go late depending on if we need to keep pace.
Yeah, especially I think that we'll be fine. We were actually making a really good pace last week. I think that like when you look up how long to beat, I think that some people are a lot faster than how long to beat if you just know like general game design and you don't die a lot. But you were dying a lot, so it was pretty rough. Anyways,
I died less than you.
All right. Tuesday, Disco Elysium in the morning continues on. GTA Vice City at night. When I say Disco Elysium in the morning, by the way, that's 9 a.m. start times for all this. We're going for about 3 hours. And then Wednesday is Disco Elysium in the morning. At night, The Last of Us Grounded with Connor.
Almost at the end of day 1, Abby.
Oh, I've been watching. You've been doing great. Only 26 deaths last stream. Good job. On Thursday morning, Disco Elysium in the morning, and then more Vice City, and then Friday morning, Disco Elysium in the morning. We are doing 9 streams next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. The Disco Elysium playthrough, I'll say it now. This game, it's got the sauce. It's got the writing. I'm getting it. And I'm also, last night, the thought that I had before I went to bed was, I'm really excited I get to wake up and play more Disco Elysium.
It's like a good book. Yeah. Oftentimes it takes a while to get
exactly
in.
For sure.
You gotta learn all the names. You gotta set the stage a little bit.
Right, like who's this character? Why are they the worst? All that stuff. My morning was great. I got to check in on Brady's cats, fed them because Brady's away right now, and I split duty with another one of our good friends. They took the first half. I took the second half. But yeah, I fed the cats and then came over and boom, got to go and play some disco. It was a great time. So get excited about all those streams. You're not going to want to miss it over on Twitch. And then just a heads up with like bonus content. We do have bonus content over the next like month or so all planned for just leading into Extra Life, which is August 8th is the
next
running
big
date.
One is the July trophy stream. Yep.
Do you want me to get a date on that?
You can, but
let's see. I was about to say, can I get a date on it?
Yeah.
Anyways, not that important as of right now. Yeah, it's in the middle of July. It's July 18th, I want to say.
Spyro, Spider-Man 2, Donut County, Edith Finch.
What Remains of Edith Finch. Yep. Will that stream actually happen? We don't know. What Remains of Edith Finch is on there, so it's probably
cursed.
not. But yeah, no, we got a lot of fun streams and a lot of fun bonus content coming your way as we try to go and get done with all of our promises pre-Extra Life so we can reload and have a good time. Yeah. And then Discord, joining the Discord next week. It is going to be community night, and I'm calling the shot. I'm taking the ball. It's going to be community night hosted by myself. Connor might be there. Brave might be there. Among Us, we're doing it. I have never played Among Us with the community for a community night in the year we've been doing these.
You don't want to do that painting game.
I've seen that. Maybe we do that. Now. It's a big game.
That might be a stream over a community night or both.
Here's the issue. The one fucking time we paint ourselves into a corner with these Gears of War streams. Well, there's a great fucking Monday stream.
Yeah.
We might need to fucking blow up Monday stream for a week or two to play this painting game.
Fortunately, Monday stream affects upcoming Tuesday, Thursday streams with BBS, with me needing to be over here. So the schedule kind of needs to stay the way it is.
Dude, freaking BBS. Can't wait. The energy's there.
I'm trying to get to The Witcher, but I kind of want to play Kingdom Hearts right now.
Dude, just fucking beat The Witcher, man.
On TikTok, I'm like, man,
beat The Witcher.
Feel real good.
Does Kingdom Hearts, you're seeing these clips, does that make you change your opinion on the direct at all? You know, getting excited for Kingdom Hearts 4? Ah, darn it.
I'm not that excited for Cage 4.
Wow.
Kingdom Hearts is my favorite franchise. I think it should have ended with 3. I got my fill. I don't like that they are continuing to set things up and make us have more questions than answers when we are finishing out the story.
Yeah.
And the fact that we are just going to continue to feel this way probably for the next 2 decades once again, I think is kind of egregious.
We're 30 minutes into this podcast. Yeah. But join the Discord. We're going to go and play a community game literally next Sunday. It's going to be a great time. You're not going to want to miss it. And if you're listening to this on Monday or past when this goes up on YouTube and everything, it's that current week. So join the Discord. It's going to be a lot of fun. Play games with us. Have a great time. And also talk about the World Cup and any other sporting event and any other thing that you want to talk about in the Discord. It's a lot of fun in there. Talk about Star Fox when that comes out. I definitely think that people have some opinions on that. Having a great time. Also, talk about Disco Elysium and why you love that game so much in the comments down below, because I'm very curious about that.
Somebody in our Discord, I think it's Blake, is running these top 10 fan lists or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you want to participate in that, we just did top 10 SNES games. What do you think won?
I know it's in Street Fighter 2, but it should have been.
Street Fighter 2 didn't even make it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It was an OLI. SNES? Probably some Mario.
A Link to the Past.
Oh, really?
Mario, I think, didn't even crack the top 5.
What?
Chrono Trigger was up there.
Oh, FF6, was that on there?
FF6 was 4,
okay.
I think. And then...
of course, Goof Troop, you know.
It didn't make it. Should have made it.
Damn it.
Super Metroid was also up there.
Nice.
Actually, so I think Mario World might be in the top 5.
That actually, I'm fine with any iteration of that list. Merch, Scope64store.com. Get your t-shirts, hoodies, mugs. Review us over on Apple Podcasts and review us over on Spotify. Drop us that 5 stars. It helps out. Comment section. Hop into the comment section. Let us know if we mess up on this episode so we can set the record straight on the next episode. Connor, crazy fucking news week. Crazy. So much to get into. Let's do it. Headline: Xbox Studios, Compulsion, Double Fine, and Ninja Theory facing closure. It's claimed. This is Andy Robson over at VGC. Quote: that's according to Bloomberg, which first reported the news and corroborated by VGC's own sources, who indicated that Compulsion Games, Double Fine, and Ninja Theory are among those in active negotiations to spin off from Xbox. The Xbox Studios are said to be at risk of being shuttered, but have the opportunity to buy themselves back from Microsoft and go independent, though employees are likely to lose their jobs as a result, according to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier. Quote: employees at several studios have been informed of the situation and given permission to seek new work, but were told that the status of the studio is still in flux, end quote, he wrote. Cambridge, England-based Ninja Theory, Hellblade, announced a new game, Senua, just last week at the Xbox Showcase. Both Compulsion, South of Midnight, and Double Fine, Kiln, have released games in the last year. All 3 studios are known for creating award-winning original games, but not necessarily commercial hits. End quote. I want to start here, because I feel like it's always necessary with these stories. We're going to talk about these studios in some ways that, like, we love these studios. Like, there's a lot of love for these studios, and it sucks that people lost their job. And, like,
every time you
every fucking time it
feels insensitive to talk about this just in a purely business sense when there is so much emotion and human suffering that is going to come from these decisions that, like, it feels like it feels bad to have to disconnect those two, but we can really only talk about this from a business sense, knowing what we know and understanding that unfortunately people are going to lose their jobs. Somebody in a comment section or in a video recently pointed out that, like, I feel like we hear layoffs and, like, it's sad always, but, like, the weight of that on the individual, I feel like isn't nearly as highlighted or focused on as it should be, because, like, losing your job is, like, only next to or only below, like, dying or losing your home.
Yeah.
Like for like uprooting and throwing your life into total disarray.
It's medical.
Like it's just a number on a spreadsheet. Like people are just losing their job. It's like, oh, they're cutting down on people. Like, but like the human effect of it, like on the individual is catastrophic, and you cannot oversell that.
Yeah.
So like, it's important to keep that at the core of this discussion, and note that this is the most important aspect here, but we are going to need to talk about this from a business sense.
Yep.
More so than that, unfortunately.
So
it's like when a player gets injured in football, and fantasy football podcasts have to talk about them. It's like you never want to see somebody get injured, but somebody like might be losing their job because of this, or like not be getting their contracts like paid in full as they might have had they played the whole season.
Yep.
And now we are forced to talk about them in like this like fantasy football context that is so detached from reality, and that's kind of similar to this.
The other thing I want to bring up is Jason Schreier. Dude's got a YouTube channel. The dude is spinning gold right now.
I want to talk about that.
Well, we need to hop into this fucking story.
Quick, I love Jason Schreier.
Yep.
He is one of the most intelligent individuals on the planet in the gaming space.
Yep.
Like he is so well informed and so good at articulating these ideas in a very digestible way. Like, and the fact that he just rips it too.
Yep.
Like he just said, okay, I'm gonna sit down for 20 minutes and just talk about this topic and give you all this detail and insight. But my issue with his videos is that if you're well versed in gaming news, I'm not getting anything out of it.
Yeah.
Like I love hearing him talk about these things, and if you're not well informed or up to date on the happenings in the gaming space, I imagine those videos are going to be really great for you to up your knowledge. But for me, like I want more takes from the Schrei guy. I want to hear his opinions, but I feel like you get that on his podcast probably more. So we were talking about it in the Discord, and I do want to say that. But I have been watching his videos a lot lately too.
He's been great. He's been, for me, when I finish up my podcast run and I'm playing something like Valorant or something, like even just driving around and everything, I'm tossing, just wanting to hear the whole timeline of Xbox. If you're somebody that wants to know more about this story, I think that is a required reading type deal of like, you should do that. Like you should go and listen to that, because I think it helps contextualize a lot of this stuff. With that being said, I don't know where to start with this other than where we initially started. How did this news make you feel? Like, what from a business sense, does this make sense? Does this
from a business sense, it makes total sense and is totally in line with what we were told in the last few weeks about where Xbox was at and where they are heading, and the catastrophic effect of this reset. Like, this is totally expected, in my opinion. And it doesn't change my opinion that I had in previous weeks about Xbox's future. This all seems very necessary to me.
I completely agree, and I want to sort of. People are taking this as like this horrifically bad news, which it is bad news. I don't think, and Connor and I talked about this beforehand, this is going to be tangent the podcast. Like, it's just going to be like, we're going to try to get down a pathway. And
it's going to be kind of incoherent.
Exactly. Because there's just so much meat here. 3 different studios, past regimes, current regimes, Game Pass, exclusivity. Like, there is so much on the table to talk about here. But where I want to start is, this is a byproduct, I don't think, of Asha Sharma and what she's doing. I think that this is the necessary thing that she had to come into and be like, it is what it is. We are going
in fucked, dude. She was dealt a terrible hand, and she's been very candid about that. It takes drastic measures to fix this.
Something that was said in one of the Strider things, I also listened to MinMax talk about it. Strider was on MinMax to talk about this. So I don't know. Once again, I'm just like, it's been a long week of videos and video games and everything. But like him talking through the fact that one of the questions Asha Sharma apparently asked was like, is this salvageable? Like when she first got in, like this is something that it is Doctor Strange-esque of like, there's only one outcome where we win. The rest we're gonna lose. And I don't look at this as losing. I think that the hardest part of this entire conversation is something that Greg Miller had a video went extremely viral this week about like how he would fix Xbox and like do this whole thing.
I completely disagree with just about everything he said in that video.
I disagree with a lot of it, except the fact that the box is too expensive right now. And so the pathway that they need to go down, is,
and they know this.
Yeah.
They've talked about it ad nauseum at this point.
But I also don't think that Compulsion, Double Fine, or Ninja Theory, getting into the meat of this story now, I don't think that these are needle movers for your company. I don't think that these studios are making you money. And now that Game Pass is as expensive as it is and is not anymore the North Star of your entire company, what are they serving you with? And I want to start with Double Fine because I think that they're the most prime example of this. Apparently, the documentary about like their Psych Odyssey and everything like shows extremely well that like making a video game is extremely hard and there's so much bullshit you have to overcome to go and get this done. And Double Fine is one of the most beautiful and amazing creatives that we have in this industry. I don't want to like, this isn't me dunking on Double Fine by any means. I love these games. I really liked Keeper last year, but at the same time, I don't think that Keeper exists without a publisher behind them. I don't think that they were able to get certain games off the ground necessarily.
I think it does.
Well, once again, quoting Schreier, he was like, they might have needed a publisher to get across the finish line for some of these games in the past few years.
I think there's other routes for a studio like Double Fine, and we've seen them do it in the past. Like, I think Double Fine is going to be just fine, pun intended, going forward because they have that hardcore fan base that is going to follow them no matter where they go. It just is a matter of what is the scope and budget of these future projects
100%.
and how much money do they need to make them happen.
I also think that by not having a publisher, though, they might be shackled to not be as creative and weird as they are with a game like Kiln. I don't think that Kiln gets made without being able to
find a
have
good balance. They need to make something that's creative and weird but still commercially viable.
With that being said, Xbox. And I'm not talking about Microsoft, and we can bring the AI concept into all this shit later, but what is Double Fine doing for Xbox? It is not moving Game Pass subscribers in the way that it used to. It is a nice to have when you have Game Pass that, oh yeah, there is a Double Fine game, but it's not getting anyone new to sign up to Game Pass. That's just not happening.
These teams were bought under Phil Spencer as a way to keep people subscribed to Game Pass. There was no pressure on them to deliver these massive hits, and that's why I think they were comfortable getting purchased in the first place, because they were allowed to just make the games that they wanted to make because they were going to be used to keep people on the platform subscribed to Game Pass. That is not the plan anymore. So they do not fit into the new game plan, so they are not needed under Xbox, and that is why we are seeing this. And they can't afford to keep them around.
I also want to bring the Hellblade studio into this Ninja Theory, where it's like, I look at Ninja Theory being like, I don't know how they got a second Hellblade off the ground, especially with the result of what it was.
Under Xbox?
Under Xbox, which is, correction. That game's going to exist because Xbox is funding it, and that's what they wanted to do. And under the Phil Spencer regime, it was go and do this. But that dev time was longer than anyone expected. The amount of money that goes into a game that looks like that has to be asinine, and there's no way that they're recouping that amount of money between Game Pass subs or sales. And that's why something like that goes to PlayStation to go and just try to make a little bit more money and chase after that. Now, I want to go back to the initial thing that we said on this podcast. If they're going to go and do this whole thing, if they're going to try to save Xbox, they need to eat shit. They just need to go and eat shit for quite some time, and we are officially in the shit. It has started. We had 4 months.
Buys them time. They need runway right now.
They need, and sadly, it's layoffs and it is closures. They need runway. They also need to get to the number one thing that they need to get to is the next generation. That is extremely hard to do currently. So, but also
because of decisions Microsoft has made, so it's hard to feel bad for Xbox, unfortunately, because they are under Microsoft, even if they aren't making the decisions themselves.
I was going to say that, and also I am as anti-AI as I don't think that this is a good thing. Microsoft has to go and try to chase this down, because if it does hit, then they are with their competitors, Google, these other massive tech companies, and they're on the same playing field. If it doesn't hit, okay, we lost some money, but everyone on the top side lost money. If Microsoft would be like, well, we have this
gaming... Not some money, though.
I understand.
It's trillions of dollars.
But if they're like, if we have this gaming division, so we can't go and start producing AI because we want to go and help out this failing gaming division, that doesn't make sense for Microsoft. It doesn't. And so you have to go do this.
But then you can't get mad at them about the cost of their console and lack of console sales when you made the situation it is.
But Microsoft can't get upset with them. But I think that that's why Microsoft and Xbox are butting heads, and I think that they butted heads for a long time. Like, they are going after different things, but the winner of the conversation will always be Microsoft because they own them. And so they have to go down this pathway being like, we kind of have to chase after AI. Like, we are a massive tech company. That is what everyone else is doing. We cannot be a step behind if this does hit. So now AI is too expensive. They have a console that's too expensive. Project Helix, we discussed last week, cannot fucking exist. It can't exist in its current form because it's too goddamn expensive. They need to get to the next console generation. I
it
think
also
that,
sounds like with everything they've said recently about the next console that they are trying to return to console. Like, I don't think they have any inclination on moving forward with the original Project Helix plan of being a PC hybrid.
No.
They want to make a traditional console, and I think that is the right move with where they currently stand.
I think that the game plan is they're going to wait until PlayStation announces how expensive their console is and undercut it by $200.
I don't even
or
think
100, at least 100
is potentially viable.
Because I think that you do need to have those easy differentiators, like being like, hey, especially for the Call of Duty gamer. I bring it up all the time. I don't give a shit about Game Pass. I don't give a shit about whatever. I just want the thing that's going to play Call of Duty or Fortnite or Roblox, the thing that everyone's fucking playing. So I do to some level. I'm like, they just need to make a box that's cheaper than the other guy, and they will not necessarily win the console generation because now PlayStation
gives them a chance.
It gives them a chance, and also it makes it a conversation to be like that. Right now, the question is, why would you buy an Xbox? To be clear, I don't like. The hardcore Xbox fan is going to buy an Xbox no matter what. I don't think that the hardcore Xbox fan is like, they lost Double Fine, it's over, I'm no longer going to buy an Xbox. They lost Ninja Theory, I'm no longer going to buy an Xbox.
It's not like people were supporting these studios anyway.
Exactly. They weren't.
I'm really frustrated with some of the narrative going around about the loss of these studios and how tragic it is when you guys didn't play these fucking games.
Yeah.
We at least played them.
Yeah. You want to know something funny? I did go back to our Hellblade 2 review. Because I was like, what did I say about Hellblade 2? Gave it an 8.5. I stand by that 8.5. I think that game's ridiculous at what it's trying to do.
I give it a 5.
You gave it a 5. It is one of our more notorious reviews because of the differentiation of our scores.
Brady gave it a 7?
7.5 or something like that. I'm not even gonna lie. I may or may not have, like, Brady gave the score and I was like, I just want to hear what Connor, like, because I remember you gave it a 5 and I remember looking at Brady and I was being like, holy shit.
Yeah, Brady's reaction was very funny.
It's great. But yeah, like, it is such a tough conversation to be like, sure, this had to happen. It sucks. But going back to, like, the opinion that these studios should still exist, or once again, they can totally still exist. It seems like there is negotiation. The hard part, as Schreier's noted, and it happens every single time that there's a breakaway, stuff like this. It is IP. Hellblade IP is owned by Xbox. Is Ninja Theory going to buy that IP so they can work on Hellblade and continue that going? Or same with Double Fine. Is like, okay, where does the Psychonauts IP right now lie? Is it under Xbox or is it under Double Fine? I would assume it's under Xbox.
You can probably negotiate to get it back, though.
You can negotiate all these things.
It's not like Xbox even probably wants the Psychonauts IP, because what the fuck are they going to do?
Well, I mean, they wanted the Perfect Dark IP. Like, there's certain things.
I think Perfect Dark has big commercial viability. I do not think Psychonauts has that.
Another conversation that's, once again, this is tangent the podcast, just strap in. Another conversation that's been happening in the industry over this past week is, like, we talk about these, like, smaller studios with their IPs and the way that they currently are. Like, is Gears moving numbers the way that it used to? Is Halo moving numbers the way it used to? Are these big boy games? Does Xbox have a actual fucking star IP? I think that Halo still has motion. I think that Halo would still sell like a motherfucker.
If the game is fucking phenomenal, close to Halo 2 or Halo 3. Just, I don't think that Halo Studios has the capacity to make something on that level. I think Halo Studios needs to probably either be shut down or completely overhauled. They need to carve the fucking rot out of that company. It is apparently incredibly toxic, incredibly mismanaged. And if they want Halo to be the powerhouse that it once was, they need to either close that studio and start fresh, or they need to completely gut it.
Well, I'll go the other way. I don't necessarily disagree with anything you said. We know how expensive Gears seems.
We don't have a story.
We don't, but once again, there's so many stories.
I don't understand
how
it's that expensive.
It is.
You have to imagine, I do think that this context gets lost a lot when we hear about budgets. A lot of these games essentially restart at points, and the final product might cost $100-200 million, but when you restarted halfway through, or maybe you restarted twice, that's how you end up at $400 million, even though the final product doesn't seem to excuse me
you gotta need a little water there?
seem to warrant that price point. It's like Marathon. $250 for Marathon, it's like $250 million. That game probably in its current iteration costs $50 million.
Do you need a little water, my friend? Yeah, okay. But yeah, going and having a lofty budget is not the end of the world if you're Naughty Dog and you know the next game's going to hit.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the end of the world if you're From Software and it's going to hit. Or even, the prime example for me is Spider-Man. The Spider-Man games cost so much fucking money
because of the licensing.
Because of the licensing and just in general, the pricing of a AAA game that looks the way that Spider-Man looks and plays the way it does. But it makes its money back. I don't know if Gears is making the money back. It's a hard
It's not going to, especially because it's not releasing on PS5. But you have to imagine Asha Sharma and other higher-ups went to the Coalition and went to In Exile and said, hey, we are using you to set the groundwork for our future plans. The recommitment to exclusivity, that you are going to have games on our platform that you need to buy this console for to play these games. So you are going to get a loss and potentially not hit your margins or metrics that you might have. We're going to take care of you because we're kind of using you as bait at this point, and it might be a little bit unfair, but I don't think Gears and Clockwork Revolution are these games that are going to be expected to move units in the short term or make a ton of money in the long term.
It's a flare. It's a signal to everyone else. This is what we're doing, and like everyone's like, well, why can't Fable go and return? Because the die's already cast for Fable. Every single game that Phil Spencer said was going to come to PlayStation,
and there are contracts that were signed. If they were really committed to this, I understand that people are like, they should make Fable an exclusive, because I do think that game, specifically from the ones they have announced, has the power to potentially move a lot of units, but I think they are contractually obligated to continue with the PS5 port. When it comes to these two exclusive games making their money back, I do want to point out that, like, if they want to make a lot more money, they need to revert the plan to put them on Game Pass day one. They need to completely remove that from Game Pass altogether. If Game Pass is not going to be your flagship, your North Star, as you said, you need to completely overhaul what it is at this point. It needs to be PlayStation Plus, premium or extra or whatever.
I'm okay with them going, it's what, $23 right now? Drop it to 20. Do I have a $20 tier and a $10 tier, and have neither of those tiers have day one games?
It needs to be supplemental. You need to sell full price games just like everybody else does. Basically, what I think Xbox's future is, and the only chance they have of returning to relevancy, is to copy the fuck out of PlayStation and Nintendo. Like stellar first party exclusives.
Wait, the two companies that are successful?
Yeah.
Yo, that's shocking.
It's doing the same thing that every successful console has done over the last 45 years or whatever. Like, this is the only way to do it. And I understand they were in a position where they felt like they couldn't win, and they had to continue to create routes for them to go down to be relevant with Game Pass and
but with
like
cloud gaming.
It shot themselves in the foot though. And it didn't work. They gave it a fair shot. Now you need to strip back everything else and figure out how you can sell your console like everybody else does. And I think that also feeds into PC day one. I think they need to cut that. If they're really serious about this, I think they need to remove that.
I think that it's okay to keep it PC day one. I think that every single time they talk about PC, yes, there is millions of players.
It's continuously growing too.
It's continuously growing. Guess what's not growing right now? I think that we talk about the increase of price when it comes to consoles. You're not buying a PC unless you got fucking bread right now. And I'm talking about big boy bucks. Like, it is thousands and thousands of dollars. You cannot get a starter PC that runs Cyberpunk the way you want it to run for $1,200 anymore. You can't do that. So, with that being said, yes, the PC market is solidified. It's growing. It is vibrant. But I still think that there is hundreds of millions of gamers that are like, I will never buy a PC. That's not how I play games. I'm not doing that. And so
people don't factor that in to this discussion.
Yeah, and I also think that with PC though, and them putting day one games, as long as it's through the Xbox app and not through Steam, and they're able to go and get these games.
But what is the goal of these games? Is it not to sell hardware?
It's to sell hardware. Yes, they do need to sell hardware. That is a mission statement. But also, they do need to make money. Yeah. They need to do both. But one thing, you can do both. What you can't do is put them out on PlayStation and also expect to sell fucking consoles. You can't do that. You have to have reasons to buy the box, and that's exclusive.
And none of this matters if the games aren't exceptional.
Yeah.
This is their last chance. They are in full rebuild mode, and if they don't fix it on this go, they are getting shut down. When we talked about how tragic the studio closures are that we're seeing right now and the bloodbath that is going to take place over the next couple of months.
It is going to get way worse, by the way.
It's going to be bad, and it is bad news. You know what's way worse? Everything getting shut down.
Yeah.
And all of the Bethesda studios, these legendary powerhouses like id and Bethesda Softworks, like them going away. Halo Studios, Coalition, all of them. That is the alternative right now.
Yeah.
It's we either got this in the way we are, give us a little bit more runway, we reset, we try this new strategy. If it doesn't work, okay, at least we gave it a fair shot. We gave our final breath towards this or whatever. Yeah. And at least we didn't go out with a whimper. But the alternative is Satya's probably looking at this and like, we can just cut this completely.
Yeah,
it's not making us any money.
Dude, they're fucking losing money.
Yeah.
I think that people also, the reason that you do this is because I think that most people, everyone knows that it's not working. But there's such a large difference between it not working and you're losing millions and millions of dollars quarter after quarter looking at this being like, why the fuck are we doing this? Like, there's no... Obviously, the goal of video games is to like have great art and great games and the things that are go and are commercially successful because of how awesome this piece of art is. That's what like great successful movies often do, is the art piece is awesome and then also is successful outside of it. Like, they need to have financial success to continue to exist. You don't get to be a game studio and get many cracks at it and not have great games. Like, really see, and when I say great games, I look at something like Double Fine. It's like, I never played Psychonauts 2, but I look at Double Fine and its Keeper was great last year. And I look at Ninja Theory and I'm like, these are great games, but they're not needle movers.
I've been stewing on this throughout this discussion about the game quality and what they should do about that. And I kept thinking, like, they need a Shuhei Yoshida type person to come in and be the tastemaker and be like, this is our standard of quality.
Yeah.
I'll come in emotionless into your studio and be like, this is not good enough.
Yeah.
This is not commercially viable. We still want to promote creativity and you want to like have some wiggle room, but you need to stay within the constraints of what is going to make us money. And quality will make us money.
Yeah.
You can still be creative, but it needs to be of a certain level of quality. And as I'm thinking about that, you know who's retired and available?
Shuhei Yoshida.
I really think they would be smart to just be like, hey, like he put PlayStation back on the right path during the PS3 and PS4 generation and got us some of the greatest games of all time and established PlayStation first-party studios as the powerhouse that they've, as we've come to know them today. Like, I think getting him in there or somebody like him to up the standard and be that person to make the tough calls on what to greenlight and what not to greenlight would be very beneficial, because I think that with the next generation and these upcoming games we're talking about, like they need to be fantastic. It only really takes one to change the tides. A game that is unignorable, something that you have to play.
Yep.
A generational game. I think that if Elder Scrolls 6 is exclusive and it is on the level of Skyrim, not like looking like Skyrim, but like of that same quality. This game that breaks
it's a game
out,
of a generation.
It breaks out of just gamers too and captures the mainstream and gets people in and gets people talking. If that game takes over when it comes out and you can only play it on Xbox, you need a game like that to get some people who either don't have a console yet to be willing to finally buy one, or you need to be able to peel some people away to buy a second console if they already are playing on Switch or PlayStation. That is the only way to build back to relevance. You need to capture your hardcore base that you already have.
I think that
but you need to create new hardcore fans.
Yeah.
If I'm a PlayStation fanboy through and through, always will be, always have been. But if I am playing on PlayStation my entire life and finally get the next Xbox console and like I'm constantly getting fantastic first party titles, I got room for two.
Yeah.
I can be a fanboy for both of them. Like I do not think Xbox has had the games over the last.
How did I become an Xbox fan? How do I, Nick Evans, in 2026, fucking love Xbox the way that I do? It is Forza Horizon 5 and Hi-Fi Rush, and that is part of my personality. And once again, I don't think that those are necessarily everyone type games, racing game and a more niche title, but they got me by 2 fucking games in the span of like 18 months where I'm like, I love these games so fucking much. They're in my top 10. I will play these games forever. I love them. I want the sequels. I want everything about it. And that's what got me into this ecosystem the way that I am. Game Pass is a great value. But once again, I played Game Pass in 2020. I wasn't a Game Pass guy. I wasn't an Xbox guy. They got me with great games. That's how you fucking get people.
Unfortunately, I do think with the adjustments to their current strategy and the closure of these studios, we are going to lose something that Xbox hardcore has really loved over the course of the last 2 generations, which is diversity.
Yeah.
I think the biggest issue plaguing PlayStation right now is a lack of diversity. Like, no longer are we in the era of the random one-off smaller title outside of the likes of Astrobot. Now that's it for weird PlayStation.
And meanwhile, he'll make a game in 10 years or something.
We're not getting Last Guardian. We're not getting Concrete Genie. Those days are done. Like, we're getting narrative-driven, third-person, over-the-shoulder action or third-person shooter games. Like, that is the bread and butter of PlayStation Studios. Xbox, over the last couple of generations, you're getting your Pentaments, you're getting your Hi-Fi Rushes, your Psychonauts 2, alongside your Halos and your Gears and such. And we will lose that. But I do think if they are able to build back, we could see that return. You have to focus on your tent poles right now, your Fallouts, your Elder Scrolls, your Halos, Gears of War, Fable, and make those as good as they can possibly be, hopefully build back that base, and then you earn back the luxury of working with new first-party studios. But also, I think that in the interim, you could make those relationships with third-party studios, make a second-party partnership to get exclusivity like PlayStation has done throughout this generation. Like, if Xbox is serious, you want to make a big play? Sandfall.
Yeah.
Hey, exclusivity for a couple years, maybe forever. Your next game, we'll pay you so much money.
We will
bankroll the fuck out of this, and we are going to use your title as a flagship for our next console, and we will put so much marketing behind it. We'll basically give you the budget for your next game, and that will be you telling me you've Expedition 33, you're one of your favorite games of all time, game of the year. You're not going to buy a console, or at least be drawn to that console, even if it is of a higher price. Like, that is a compelling system seller, man.
Connor, that is top 10 smartest things you've ever said on this podcast. I'm not even joking. They should 100% do that. Like, when
I bemoan that, yes, I want to be able to play that game on PlayStation. But exactly. We're just talking business here. If you want to make a big play, something like that is a big play.
Literally, and you go and you say whatever you want. Like, literally, like, they're like, hey, we won't do that for, I don't, no idea how much this last game cost, but let's just say 50 million.
Unfortunately, they probably have fuck you money right now and can just do whatever the fuck they want. They are not in a position to need any money from anybody.
But also, you go and say 50 million, like, no. And then they're like, okay, 200 million. No, $1 billion fucking dollars. Like, I once again, better investment than fucking Bungie. There's worse fucking decisions that have been made in the fucking game space in the past 10 years. That is a better decision than Activision. It's a better decision than maybe even Insomniac. Yeah. Like, fuck, dude, just do it. Like, oh my God.
And I want to touch on these studios we haven't talked about here that might be getting shut down, but I think, or at least I hope, could still be of value under the current Xbox regime if they tweak their formulas and tweak what they're working on and how they function. Like, Bethesda, Todd Howard, Ash Sharma needs to go in there and be like, hey, we know you're very protective of Fallout, and Obsidian has asked to work on a Fallout game, basically begged to work on a Fallout game, and you said no because that's my baby. I don't want anybody else touching it ever again. Fuck you. We own this. They are making a Fallout New Vegas 2 or whatever. Like,
we need to have a Fallout game every 3 years from Xbox at the longest. At the fucking we haven't had a new Fallout game since 76. That game came out in like what, 2017, 2018?
And it's not a mainline Fallout game. It's not the Fallout game people even want to play.
So we haven't had a fucking proper Fallout in a decade.
Yeah.
We have a hit show. Are you kidding me? That is unacceptable.
Yeah.
You like.
I don't know if it's ego with Todd Howard or just like he's just very protective of it. Like, and I get that with creatives, like you want to own your
PlayStation was going and drowning. They would go and say, "We are making the next Bloodborne game. We are doing it. I don't give a shit about anything else." That's the same deal. If you are drowning, you go and fucking. It's the easiest life wrap of all time. And as you said, it needs to be an FU, and we're just doing it. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah.
With like right now. You talk about like we talked about this with WB last year. Once again, as much as I lament talking about layoffs, I fucking hate it. Like, but I am so thankful this show exists to be able to talk about this in this way, because WB's basically said, yeah, we're cutting out all the fat. We're just gonna go and do we're gonna do Mortal Kombat, and we're gonna do DC, and we're gonna do Harry Potter, and that's it. And you want to know what that will do for WB? Make them money.
Yeah.
They will make money off that.
And then maybe in the future you get the luxury of getting weird.
Exactly.
But right now you're fucked.
You don't have the luxury to do that.
You don't get that option.
You don't get to be weird. And right now, I look at these studios, and I like a lot of these games, and I like these studios. Dude, South of Midnight, Compulsion Games, I will stand on business 24/7. Gamers ask, I want PS2 style video games. I want that magic. That game has the magic, dude.
Yeah.
You get to chapter 3 in that game, and you are fucking crying, and you don't know why, and it's so good. And is the game consistent? No. Is the combat there? No. But like, this game fucking hits that. I hate that Xbox is losing that. With that being said, it's not moving units. It is not successful in the way that they need it to be. It goes over to PlayStation to go and make them more money, because they need to make more money.
These games are great Game Pass fodder, but that's not the plan anymore.
Yep.
They don't fit
bangers.
into the current plan.
It is Tom Haberford, right? That's the guy from Parks and Rec going and saying, the playlist needs to be all bangers.
Yeah.
Like, that is what they're doing right now. It needs to be all like you don't get to go and put like, let's go back to last year. Xbox Developer Direct. We're doing Kiln. This current year, we're doing Kiln. We're doing South of Midnight. We're doing, a couple years ago, Minecraft Dungeons, which was apparently super successful, or Legends, which was more successful than it's Minecraft. Of course, it's successful, but like, we're doing these smaller niche games. It needs to be we are doing 10-pole titles. We have 4 titles for you each year. We have so many IP of importance. Like, how do we not have a goddamn Fallout game? How do we not have the announced already to look forward to the next Wolfenstein? How do we not have some of these games that are like so easy slam dunks that
apparently
now
Indiana Jones sold well.
Once again, machine games, they're fine. They're fine.
I'm worried,
but
because they're not a part of the big boys when it comes to franchises.
But how the fuck, like, I don't Gears. Let's say released on PlayStation, which there definitely was a plan to do that. It would not have been successful enough for the budget. Yeah. I firmly believe that. It would not have been successful enough. It would have been not a like catastrophic failure for the company, but the way that Gears Reloaded sold on PlayStation, and now like looking at this, it's like that would not be the needle mover in the way that Forza is, where you get 5 million, or I think it would probably sell maybe an extra million or so.
Tough to tell though, because we're talking about a remake of a 20-year-old game.
I just don't think that people outside the Xbox hardcore really care about Gears the way that they need to. You want to know what they care about? A high quality game like Forza. Like, the reason that Forza sold as well as Forza sold is not because it is an Xbox game coming to PlayStation. It is because that game fucking rules. Like, that game's awesome, and that's why it sells. The quality needs to be raised. But to be clear, I hate the fact that I am so confident saying this. We will be talking about Xbox closures for the next 6 months. They're going to make this move before their financial year ends. They have a weird financial year. I didn't know this. Their financial year is June 30th. Oh. So you know how most people are March 31st? You can go and set your quarter whenever you want to when you're a business. Apparently they're in the middle of the year, which kind of is insane. But with that being said, it's going to be bad. It's going to get way worse. And yeah, let's bring in the next news story to go and talk about some Ninja Theory.
Real quick, I want to talk about Arcane Leon real fast.
They
better not. You better not, dude.
Well, if they are fucking up this game, then that's a disaster. It's a disaster.
Yeah, but like if Blade is going to be great and they just need a little bit more time.
Well, they said let them cook.
They need system sellers. I think it would be an absolute travesty to lose this studio and lose this game.
Well, I also think that this is one of those studios that they have that's actually great.
Yeah,
like Deathloop has turned into something that when it initially came out was not. Which Deathloop came out and this is a Game of the Year contender. Honestly, 2021. If I hate even using this, if Kalshi exists back in the day, it would have been a top 2 betting favorite for Game of the Year that year.
Fuck Kalshi.
Yeah, not about that. Don't fucking gamble your money. Go and spend it on video games. But it would have been 100% in the top 2 for that year, right? On betting odds. This is a Game of the Year talent studio. Don't lose them. I hate to say it. Ninja Theory and Double Fine and these other studios, I think that obviously Double Fine Psychonauts 2 did get nominated, so it's up there. It is high quality. These studios can make really great games and everything, but I don't think that they can make these massive successes that go and make them a lot of money. Want to know what's going to make them a lot of money? Fucking Marvel, dude. Come on. And so, they better not. I just looked down the... It's a weird spot.
Dark Ages did not sell.
It didn't sell enough, and I do think that the question is what are they going to do now? You know, and also, guess what? Their books, sort of at this point, after the Dark Ages DLC finishes up, is like, do you want to go and fund another 5 years of games from this team that you don't know if it's going to sell enough?
Let them walk and have PlayStation buy them. PlayStation needs a first-person shooter studio.
I'll tell you this much: sure, they could go and do that. I think that no matter what, though, with it is they do it well enough that they will stick around. Yeah. But man, I'm just nervous.
Do more Doom? I just don't know.
I don't think you do more Doom. But also the question is what if Doom was exclusive? That's a needle mover to some people, man.
Yeah, it needs to be really great. Yeah, and I just feel like Doom is just getting a bit tired for some people.
Yeah, I mean,
we got 3 really high quality ones, but it's just kind of more the same with the
9 years though. Yeah. Over 9 years, it's okay to go in. I want a Doom fix every 4 or 5 years.
I'm down for it, but I just don't see the masses being down for it with the sales numbers of the last one.
It's very interesting. All right, we got to bring in this next story because this is. I'm proud of us for not talking about this somehow, but it just shows how meaty the conversation is. I almost don't feel like
there's much to break down here. It's a very simple
headline: Why Microsoft announced that Ninja Theory's new game despite plans to shut down studio. This is Wesley Yumpel over at IGN. Quote: At the Xbox Game Showcase earlier this month, Microsoft announced Senua, the next game in Ninja Theory's Hellblade series. At the time, there was little concern about the game's release. Indeed, there was little concern, publicly at least, about Ninja Theory itself. But a lot can happen in a week, and in the case of Xbox, almost everything did. It started with new Xbox CEO Ashish Sharma's reset memo, which most took as significant took as a signal that Microsoft planned big layoffs and studio closures. Microsoft published the memo just days after Xbox Game Showcase, which had gone down well with core Xbox fans, was held. In it, Sharma revealed Microsoft's games business has a 3% accountability margin, assumed meaning profit margin, which is down year one, excluding Activision Blizzard King over the past 5 years, which was spent over $20 billion on ongoing investments in our content platform and hardware subsidy, but our annual revenue has declined nearly $500 million during that time. Going forward, this cannot continue, end quote, Ashish Sharma said. I don't know why this isn't pulled in because I had more to say here. Basically, the reason that Ninja Theory got closed down was they just want to go and announce the game for people to be able to potentially purchase Ninja Theory back.
I think the higher up mentality was probably like, hey, we're doing you a solid by letting you show off this game and pitch it to other suitors. It's just kind of scummy and gross and fucked up to then immediately put them on the chopping block. I do want to point out real fast, these stories have been really kind of wishy-washy over the last week with these studio closures where Ninja Theory is shutting down. They're not. We don't know that yet, but I've seen headlines where people are like, this is happening. We do not know for sure what is going on.
Nothing is shut down necessarily. The fact that Schreier, though, is reporting that these 3 studios have sent memos out is the reason it's getting reported.
Yes.
Being like, hey, start looking for other work.
But there just is no definitive information that 100%. We know now.
With that being said,
I do think it's just fucked up to let them show this game off. I do think Senua, as somebody who liked the first Hellblade game, did not like the second one. I think this next one looks awesome.
Looks great!
And they're saying all the right things, addressing all the issues I had with it. Make it more of an actual fucking video game. But even then, I don't think that game is a system seller or something that is going to change the conversation around Xbox in any meaningful way. So I understand them wanting to move off of Ninja Theory with their current plan that they're going forward with, but it's just kind of fucked up that they're doing this to them in the way that they are. Like, apparently they didn't know that this was coming down the pipeline and they were allowed to show the game off. And I think the fact that they weren't told what the game plan was here is the most concerning part to me.
I want to bring in Cannon Fodder Games, who writes in just like you can over on patreon.com/Cope64, who says the studio closures just feel like they were planned and Xbox tried to smooth the landing by having a good few months and lay the hammer down. Feels really sneaky and undoes a fair bit of goodwill they've earned. Connor, I agree with what Cannon Far is saying here with the large stuff. I do disagree on the sneaky aspect of it.
I think the only sneaky aspect of it is the
Senua.
Ninja Theory Senua thing.
That feels gross.
Otherwise, I feel like they've been very candid and upfront. And honestly, if you're an Xbox fan, in my opinion, depending on what you like about Xbox, if you like the diversity and that has been your big draw, and you wanted more of that, and I understand being let down about that. But if you're a hardcore Xbox fan who wants to see the console grow its user base and stick around for a long time, every decision they're making right now, I think, is them recommitting to wanting to move forward with that. Whereas Phil Spencer during the start of the Series X generation was basically like, we've given up. Yeah. We're not even trying to do anything at this point.
He gave up. Yeah. It was over. And I think that, once again, it's so okay. I'll continue to go back to it, being like, it's okay if they want to release Project Helix and sell 5 million. They're going to continue to lose fucking money. And Xbox won't exist in 5 years, or they will go down the publisher route. And I do think that they could go down the publisher route. I also think if you went down the publisher route, I don't know exactly if you want to publish these games in particular, and that's where it gets interesting, just in general.
I think just noting that the alternative is Asha Sharma comes in, sees these numbers, is like, we can't do it. Like, it's not fixable. Like, we're fucked. We're just shutting everything down. That is the alternative at this point. And the fact that they are moving forward and trying to salvage this, I think, should earn them goodwill rather than erase any goodwill they have.
I was about to say, going back to the goodwill aspect of it, it's like, does it erase the goodwill? Yes and no. I understand that this is clearly, obviously, a negative headline, and we've just discussed for the past 45 minutes of like why they're doing this and why this makes sense and everything. I think that the goodwill is still like of course, like giving a bunch of fans Xbox, like who actually gives a shit about that? Like, that's not the story that I care about. But the recommitment of, okay, this is where we want to go and steer Xbox to, and them being as vocal as they have been, I think that they're going to continue to be extremely vocal. And I even think Asha Sharma going and letting the studios know, being like, hey, shit's about to hit the fan and we're going to be doing this, and it sucks, but we are changing what we are doing as a company fundamentally. Is if you do stick around, you probably, once again, right now, it's impossible to go and make great games under the conditions that are being had. After the final bloodshed happens, I would feel much better working at Xbox after the fact compared to working at Xbox just in general over the past fucking 10 years.
Yeah, it's fun to be the underdog too. Like, it's like, hey, we are going against the big powerhouse in PlayStation and Nintendo right now. Like, our backs are up against the wall, and if we pull this off, we're going to be remembered in the annals of video game history for fighting back. I just listened to Console Wars, and like being the scrappy underdog at Sega and punching Nintendo, this very smug company who just had the industry on lock. And I'm sure they're painted in a certain light when you're getting the perspective from Sega employees. But like, it was cool to see like how that scrappy crew of misfits was able to really damage them. And you know what's interesting about that, and I wanted to make this point earlier in regard to Microsoft and their current situation and the need for one game. It's like the Genesis was out for like a year before Sonic came, and they were floundering. It took one game, just Sonic being fucking amazing and being a competitor to Mario for them to change the entire narrative. And obviously the industry is very different now, but we've seen it before with this roadmap.
I think that Fable's going to come out. I think that there is a 20% chance, a 1 in 5 chance that at the end of 2027, Fable wins Game of the Year. 1 in 5 chance. The 80% of that is We really don't know. PlayStation is going to have 2 or at least 1 game that is coming out either between Sony Santa Monica or Naughty Dog. And
Nintendo's going to have 3D Mario.
3D Mario. I see Fable and I go and say, that's Elder Scrolls 6, basically. Like, that's the quality of a game that I'm looking at. I don't know how this game is possible. It reminds me a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 when I go and say, I don't know how that game is possible.
I don't know if this game is going to be for me, but I think that this game, Fable, has a strong chance to be many, many, many people's favorite game of all time.
Yeah, and I think it will be. I think that this game will get a perplexing amount of 10s.
Yeah.
I do. I think that it is going to get more 10s than Forza Horizon 6 got. I think that it is that level of, yep, we're just doing the thing that, yep, Playground is now in the tier. I think that I said this on stream recently. I'm like, by the end of this, we will look at Playground the way that we look at CD Projekt Red. At least, if not better. And then
a high bar, but we'll see.
They made one of the greatest.
It is funny. Like the entire mythos around CD Projekt Red was literally just The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they ascended to one of the greatest video game powerhouses on one game. And of course, Witcher 1 and 2 are quality and people like them, but it really took one game for them to sell 18 million copies in the first fucking day for Cyberpunk, even though it was ass.
Yeah. And what I'm saying with Fable is, so we have that conversation, and it's like, that sounds pretty asinine. It's like, it was one game. They also have fucking Forza that sells a bajillion copies every single time and gets extremely high marks when it comes to reviews. So yeah, I'm okay. I'm comfortable if this game goes in, rips in the same way that a Forza does. Completely comfortable with that.
I did just say that Cyberpunk is buns. It was kind of buns at launch.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite games of all time now.
Yeah, it's elite now.
It's fantastic.
Once again, but I look at that and I'm like, cool. When you announce your next console, it's going to be a dumb decision, but you go and say, and you will get the next Fable game. You don't show anything, but you will get the next Fable game from us. Exclusive. You will get the next Forza game. Exclusive.
I want to do just a quick summary breakdown of where we think this is all going to go.
Sure.
Like, do you think they wait on console component prices coming down for the next generation? When does the next console come out?
I think that we are now in the spot that the next console will come out in 2028. I feel decent in 2026 at this point saying that. I don't know if they can wait. Once again, they are bleeding money. Every single day that they have just the Series X on shelves is a bad day to be an Xbox stockholder, higher up, whatever. It is not a good...
They are about to get a huge influx of money because of GTA 6.
Yep, GTA 6. I also think that we talk about
Dude, you had a lot of pushback on the Series S take with GTA 6. I think that makes perfect fucking sense. You guys don't understand it. If you don't have a console at this point, you are a mega casual.
Yep.
Or you're a PC gamer. And if you are only buying this console to play one game, you might as well just buy the cheapest version as long as it runs acceptably. The Series S is going to sell very well.
That is a 22-year-old mindset. I am talking about the 50-year-old mother that is buying a console for their kid. That doesn't have fucking money right now.
She probably shouldn't be playing GTA, but sure.
Sure. But I said 50, so let's say they're a 16-year-old kid, right? Why not? But you know what I'm talking about in that scenario, right? Where it's like, I can only, no one has fucking money right now. You need an option.
And I do think that will help them sell more exclusive games.
They need to get people back in on feeling an Xbox controller, opening up the UI, seeing that. I think one of the most underrated features in this generation is quick resume. The fact that PlayStation doesn't just have that work all the time is nuts. And that box can do it, dude. And I love that feature, man.
Let's continue rolling through the summary
here. Yes, I know.
Game Pass, Clockwork Revolution, Gears of War E-Day. Are those the last two? Or do they pull the plug before they come out and make the change with day one first-party titles?
I think that day one first-party titles will be part of Game Pass until the next generation at least.
I disagree. I do think it's either these are the last two or they will just bite the bullet and make this change and say you have to buy the games at full price. And I think a lot of Xbox gamers with understanding where Xbox is trying to work towards will be happy to do so. Tim Geddes has said it 1,000 times. I've said it 1,000 times. You've said it 1,000 times. Everyone understands that Game Pass was great for gamers. It was bad for business. Yeah.
It is bad for business. It cannot function. It devalues your games.
It can be good for your business as a supplemental piece. PlayStation is making a lot of money on PlayStation Plus.
You know what? You know who has a lot more subscribers? It's Xbox Game Pass. And what you do is you remove the day one Game Pass, and then you just allow the people to go and make that decision, being like, do I want to keep this? Do I not want to keep this? But guess what? You can never remove Game Pass as a core functionality in your company, mainly because you're just making a streamline of awesome money from it. And
you just have to have it not hurt you. As well.
And it's hurting. It's hurting back.
And it's worth highlighting a good example of like the effect of a subscription service and the effect it can have on total full price sales. PlayStation put Horizon Zero Dawn or Forbidden West on PlayStation Plus a year after. They reported a $100 million loss because of that move. A year after. Imagine what the fuck is going on at Xbox releasing these games on day one. And I don't know how they calculate that math or whatever, just to know, trying to figure out like what sales they were losing by having this.
And they probably just did how many people, which is the napkin math, which doesn't make full sense. How many people went and played it on the extra version and were like, oh, we got, if it's 100 million, we 1.3 million played it off that, and boom.
But Game Pass, incredibly consumer friendly, not a good business choice.
Which once again, consumer friendly, it's all fun. I will never forget.
It did keep them alive during.
Sure, but that's when they didn't have exclusives, and also you said kept them alive. It kept them alive, but I'm going to go back to 2023 when I said very inadequately, give me another crack at this one, at this one, because I said it so poorly. It is the Office moment where it's a Microsoft paper company, and they're like, our low prices is the only thing keeping us in business, and then the accountant goes and says, well, that's actually killing your business. It's over. The Game Pass kept them in business, but also it is the direct correlation thing that is murdering this business now. They devalued all their games. Not Gears. Doom is a numbers game where they touted how many players were playing it, but the game didn't sell.
Hey, we have 3 million players. So you're telling me 3 million people spent $10 on this game when you could have sold it full price? Maybe you get down to 2 million, but you're still making way more money.
What? Let's go and even say it's $20 because Game Pass was more expensive. That's $60 million. That is not enough money to go and pay
probably
for
cost $200 million to make.
Exactly. And so it is a tragic failure. And obviously that's not the full player perspective, but even then, let's say it's half the players and then you're making $100 million. That's unacceptable. So you need to go and have Game Pass reworked in a way, and it sounds dumb. We got toted. Everyone's like, you guys love what Xbox is doing. They're doing great shit. This is the reminder. Xbox is in last place. They are failing. They are not on the stage. We say it all the time. They are not making games close to the level of Nintendo or PlayStation from their first party output.
Root for the underdog.
But you gotta root for them. And also, they have given us games that are some of our favorite memories ever, and some of your favorite memories ever.
And the only reason you would root against them is if you're a console wars fanboy weirdo. Because a healthy Xbox only makes Nintendo and PlayStation better.
Much better.
So if you love PlayStation and you want to see them beat the shit out of everybody else in the console space, it's like the way they are able to get pushed and make even better shit to punch back is if they get punched in the first place.
We talked about this before stream, just shooting the breeze on Monday. PlayStation has objectively gotten complacent during this generation. They were able to go and step on the bear trap that was live service games and still be able to go, even with that on their ankle still, limp on to go and still be like, okay, but we have Ghost and we have Saros and we have Death Stranding 2 and we have Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth exclusive and we have Spider-Man 2 that goes and makes us hand over fist. God of War still coming out. We're still making that bread, baby. We're fine. If they had an actual competition, they would have been like, okay, fuck live service years ago. But they're able to go and make that mistake because they don't have anyone that's breathing down their neck being like, we're going to catch your ass if you don't go and lock in. And right now we go into the next generation and it's like PlayStation failed this generation. I think they were able to go and stay alive, like they are still breathing and they're still functioning, but they failed because you look at their studios, they closed down all of like their massive acquisition studios. The fucking Naughty Dog hasn't put a game out in 8 years. You have live service game failure after failure, one of the most egregious failures in gaming history in Concord fail. Like this company, it was able to go and fail, but they have the temple titles to go and keep them alive and everything. But
you're getting less of them, and they are less creative than they've ever been.
Right now, we are in the sequelization generation. That just is what it is.
You get your best work from PlayStation when their back is more against the wall.
The Last of Us.
You get the end of the PS3 generation. And then when they are trying to reclaim the throne from Xbox and put their foot on their throat to stomp them out and get back into first place comfortably, that's when you get the PS4 onslaught. Well, they saw that Xbox was weak after the reveal of the Xbox One and said, we are going to murder them into oblivion with these games. And that's why we got the PS4 generation.
The PS4 generation, I think a lot of people look at 2017 and 2018, they're like, these games were unreal. They started being made in 2013. They started being made during the transitional period. That's where the gas came in. Because they were like, hey, once again, you talk about Sega going and trying to take a swing at the king and everything. You have a generation that was completely, they had to fight for tooth and nail, and they were able to surpass them at the very end. And that's largely due to the Japanese market. Obviously, Xbox sold better in the States than PlayStation. But you go and have them be like, all right, we understand now what people want, which is they want Metal, and once again, stick with me, they want Metal Gear, they want Resident Evil 4, and that's how you make The Last of Us, right? They want these games that are over-the-shoulder, third-person action adventure games that go and tug on your heartstrings. We get The Last of Us, and then the mandate got shot out. Make more games like The Last of Us, and that's how you get God of War, that's how you get Horizon, that's how you get all these creative, awesome ideas. God of War obviously already exists. God of War is completely different. Like, let's go in and have these temples that allow you to ground yourself. We've not discussed this nearly enough on this podcast. God of War Laofe, no matter what, as much as it is similar, it is a God of War game. It still is a massive swing from Sony Santa Monica. Do you know how much easier it would have been?
Swing. It's not a massive swing.
Do you know how much easier it would have been to go and make a God of War game? Would have been a lot easier. You want to know what's the other thing that would have also been pretty goddamn easy? To make an Atreus game. Yeah, like at least they're doing something that is different, and I know that I would not have been like over the moon with the Trace game.
But the reason we're getting this instead of a completely new IP is because budgets are so fucking big now, and you can't take any risk. That we just have to keep attaching big IP names to these games so they sell well. It's not
the hard part ideal. Is because other games are failing around them. They can't take risks with their big studios. Like the only team that gets to take a risk within any of these major first party studios, I'm talking Xbox, and I'm talking Nintendo, and I'm talking PlayStation, is Naughty Dog. They're the only team that you can go and be like, hey, you know, like even the Donkey Kong game was a swing, right? Like that is a attempt. But the Coalition's never not making Gears. Halo Studios, it's not making a game not called Halo. Like all these teams are sort of pigeonholed into what they have to do because budgets are so high. At least Neil and the team is allowed to take a swing. Fucking Guerrilla, one of the best. It's got to go and make more Horizon. Like all these games are being forced and funneled into do this at this point. But also, that's what's made them successful in the past. I keep on saying it, and it was my hot take for 2030. PlayStation will go and have the Faye will be a mascot for them. Freaking the lead character for Intergalactic is going to be a mascot for them. They're able to go and hopefully transition into some of these different, not full on IP, right? But like these different characters in this new age. And then that's when you come back in with the flying elbow and say, we got Uncharted back and we're coming back and let's bring back one mascot platformer from the 2000s.
I just hope that as they figure out how to navigate the new budgetary constraints, or there's just an entire overhaul to the system and they're able to make games smaller or cheaper or whatever, that we return to some whimsy and some risk. Because I think it's kind of a miracle at this point that A, Media Molecule still exists, and B, even something like Team Asobi with Astrobot exists.
Yeah,
like that game does not fit within the purview of the plans of PlayStation at this point.
Now it does.
What do you mean?
Like they want an elite roster of games, not one game of the year.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
One game of the year. Nice pat on the back for them.
Exactly.
That game did not make buco bucks.
No, it's only like 4 million copies.
That, at $60 too.
Yeah,
That is not what PlayStation first party is looking for right now. They're looking for 10 million, 20 million sellers on their platform. Like, I think it's just a gesture of goodwill at this point and a statement that we want some diversity, that they're willing to bankroll a team like Team Asobi and Media Molecule. And I hope that in the future we get more of these instances and not less of them. And I am worried about that.
You're able to go going back to the Xbox conversation, you're able to do that if you are winning, if you are successful outside of it. And the big fear for me with a team like a Team Asobi is, they're creative. They're so in their lane, and what they do is extremely well. But if every live service game is failing, you are going to have to make budgetary cuts somewhere, and that is job loss. And that is like, you don't get to make games that are not extremely successful if you have a publisher over you unless you're winning. And Xbox with Game Pass at the time was, dude, Xbox Game Pass is so fucking sick, nasty. Everyone subscribing. Those subscriber numbers were like a rocket ship on that chart for a long time, just year after year, crushing through the pandemic. Pandemic stops, everything slows down. It's like, oh shit, like we're not gonna have infinite growth. That's what you're telling me? Like,
we're talking about that in the Discord. I can't believe how stupid these higher ups seem to be when it comes to the growth during COVID and how it was obviously not going to last forever. In my opinion, and I'm not an economist and don't understand like how these businesses fully work. Like, I think it might have been like a get rich scheme where they're like, oh fuck, we're gonna hire all these people, we're gonna ratchet up the budgets, we're gonna get a lot of money, a huge influx of money, and I'm gonna get my stock price to go way up, and I'm out of here or whatever, and you guys can deal with that, the repercussions down the line. That's what I fear probably happened, because it doesn't take a fucking genius to know that the line's going to go down once people can go outside again.
Yeah.
Like, obviously.
It's a damn shame, and it completely fucks the entire industry for a long time. But where I'm at right now with this entire discussion is I do think that Xbox is in a bad situation. It is so bad. And Asha Sharma understands it's so bad. If you, and here's the thing, there's so many pie charts of blame here. I don't blame these studios at all. They had marching orders to go and make creative and fun games. That was straight from Phil Spencer. Going hands off.
We're doing the thing. So bad.
That's what makes it feel fucking
did
disgusting.
What they were told to do.
And I want to go back. There was a time, and we didn't have this show yet, and it was during the Hellblade 1 podcast with Brady, where I just did like a 10-minute rant. The day that Tango Gameworks got shut down, I cried like 3 different times. Like, I was so upset because it just fucking didn't make sense to me. And it really felt like this is capitalism just like fucking over art in the most clear and obvious way. It feels so similar. Like, this is, hey, we got to make the money moves. It makes sense. I'm a business guy at the end of the day. I get it. But goddamn, like, this fucking sucks so much. They were following orders. With that being said, I do think that the orders obviously have to change. They are failing. And Phil Spencer's duration, I think that Phil, at the end of the day, and we've had discussions about Phil multiple times over, I think as much as I like the guy, you have to look at that tenure and be like, this is a massive failure. Like, the Xbox One generation leading into the Xbox Series X generation, they didn't have Halo at launch. Like, you are insane to not have a killer app on your box day one when you are so far behind. Like, I honestly think, I'll say this much, you cannot release the next Xbox without a Elder Scrolls 6 type of title day fucking one. You have to have it.
Yeah.
Like,
it needs to be generational.
And it needs to be generational, and it needs to be unavoidable, and go and do this. With that being said, I think that when everyone's talking about like, oh, the goodwill that Asha Sharma gained, it's like, you have to look at this past regime and be like, I fucking blame them a lot more than this current regime. They just have to fucking deal with the shit sandwich that they got dealt from the past people.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, it's just so right, because at least they're trying. And Phil Spencer just saw the tsunami coming and was just like, I'm not going to even move. I'm not even going to run away. I'll just let it fucking happen.
I will say this. Phil and Sarah, to give them some credit, saw the tsunami coming and they're like, we are going to try things. And the things that they tried were dumb. Like, I think really, really dumb. I think that cloud gaming and going and trying to get as many like devices to have Xbox on it on paper is an idea. Not a good one, but it's an idea, and they tried it. But at the end of the day, that's not going to go and make them the money that they need to go and look at Microsoft and have Microsoft go and look down on them and say, yeah, do whatever the fuck you want. Like, you go and make your games like Keeper and Ninja Theory.
On the situation.
Exactly.
It was so clear.
It's not even a Band-Aid. It is a fucking gaping hole in the side of the ship, and they're putting a little bit of Flex Seal on a corner of it.
Yeah.
Like, the way you win is not 10 million players. It is 100 million players. Right. That is the way to win. And when I say players, I mainly mean console sales. You need to have a console that's going to sell a lot, and that's the situation that they're in right now. They don't have a console on the market that's able to sell a lot. You have GTA 6 rolling in. You need to go and have consoles on the shelf. I think that they will have consoles on the shelf for GTA 6, thankfully, which is a very good thing. Especially if you can get... I want that limited edition Xbox fucking everywhere. They should be selling that thing like hotcakes.
Should make a Series S SKU of it, maybe.
Dude.
Yeah. And I think the fact that the PlayStation is at an equal price at this point, I think makes
fucking
a kind of fair game for the casual. Like,
what do you like?
Yeah.
If we're talking casual, I can ask my casual buddies like, "Hey, are you an Xbox guy or a PlayStation guy?" And I will have a handful of them going to be like, "I like the Xbox controller more, so I'm an Xbox guy."
But like guys who like played on the 360 during high school and like really loved Call of Duty and fell in love with the Xbox ecosystem maybe, and skipped out on the last generation because they're casual. They got a job. They went off to college. They weren't playing as many games. But now GTA 6 is coming out and they're like, "I really want to play that," and I have memories with Xbox. And like, sure, that's a very specific situation, but I do think there's probably a decent number of people who kind of fit under that.
I'm texting my buddy Aaron, "Hey, are you buying a console for GTA 6?
If so, which one?
If so..." Oh man, a text just popped up. It was about the Masters. Like, you know, like when you like don't send a text message, sometimes they'll like store the text. I sent the text and then it was like, "Rory's on a tear right now." That's really funny. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't want to lead the witness too much on it. Maybe he does have console, right? I don't think he does though. And he was back in high school with me. We played a shit ton of GTA 5 together. We played a shit ton of Madden together, and it was on Xbox. So I'm curious if adult version of him was like, "Oh yeah, GTA 6. I gotta hop in on that." Like that's the weird part where I'm like, this high school kid now has fucking adult money. Like he's able to go and buy what he wants to do.
Right now, like money goes the least far as it's ever gone. Like
but
it feels
100%.
Like so. Like with penny pinching going on for a lot of people, it's like
they're not
what
buying
is the Series
650?
Series S.
I think 470.
I mean, that's like
it's not
tantalizing.
Cheap. Well,
I mean, like in comparison. It's like I can save a few $100 on this. It's like, like that's going to be really compelling for a lot of people.
Yeah. Right now, still not having internet is so funny. Xbox Series S currently is $449.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like,
no. Sorry, it's $399 because it used to be $300.
Oh.
Because it was $300, $500 back in the day.
Yeah, that's cheap.
$399
in comparison to $650, man.
$250.
Yeah, groceries for a few weeks.
Yeah, like, a grocery for a week, half a tank of gas.
Depends on but
I think that's worth it. With this all being said, we're going to move on. I think at this point from this news story. Thank you for listening. Before this, it was Tangent the podcast. For the people that were like, "Man, they're going to talk for 30 minutes at the start. It's going to be a fucking short episode." We still got a couple news stories to get through.
When does the first Fallout game come out?
When is are we still on this on the massive question?
We didn't. I wanted to do the summary, and we got another tangent.
First Fallout game comes out. Are we including remastered?
No.
Oh shit.
New Fallout game. Because I do think remastered is probably next year.
2029.
Yeah.
And it's
Obsidian?
And it's Obsidian, yeah. 100%.
Or do you think they could spin up a secondary studio? There's rumors about Vault Studios, I think is what they're
something like that. Yeah. I think that right now, Obsidian, apparently there was a report, it might have been grain of salt, don't quote me on this by any means. I think that they were like, "We're doing Avowed 2. I think that Usher Sharma just burst down the door, Kool-Aid man that shit, and say absolutely not.
I hope they do an Avowed 2.
I liked Avowed quite a bit, dude. What a great game.
The gameplay, man, so good. Underrated.
You have any other questions for me?
No, we can move on. There's probably more to talk about.
Yeah. Well,
does
guess
Halo
what?
Studios can keep making Halo?
Yes, and
I think they get the runway to do the remakes, but I think they might spin off another studio and start working on a mainline Halo game, and it needs to be legendary.
I think you get a Halo mainline game for sure. I think that the Halo mainline game needs to have 3 modes, and I do think that you need to release the next Halo game with a battle royale and multiplayer and Halo.
Better not release a new Halo game that is just multiplayer.
No, it won't be just multiplayer.
Well,
that's the rumor. I know. I understand.
They have to scrap that.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe it's okay, like in the in between.
But exactly, like, it depends on what you're doing with that.
It damages your brand.
Is it your next flagship Halo title, or is it, hey, we're just doing some multiplayer shit on the side?
You're just flooding the market with remakes and spin-off multiplayer modes. Like, you want Halo to hit like a fucking truck.
Yeah.
And you're gonna not be able to do that if you're just constantly releasing lesser or more inconsequential titles in the lead up to that.
Wait, you asked me, I want to ask you, when do we get the next Xbox console?
28.
Yeah, I think so at this point.
At the earliest, too.
Well, once again, are we going to be
on AI?
I think that next year Xbox Showcase, you have to show the box. You have to start talking about it.
It depends on what they're doing with Project Helix.
Well, if Project Helix is done.
Yeah.
If Project Helix comes out,
they have to completely redesign the box then and change the components and decide what they're going to do.
It needs to be a different thing, but yeah,
so I don't think they need to show it next year necessarily, especially if it's coming out.
Well, I'm just saying you need to
28.
change the narrative somewhat. Like right now, we're gonna have the bloodbath.
Well, you're gonna get a new base of players in with GTA 6, so like that needs to be factored into, like, are they able to kind of stabilize the current generation to get them
Dude,
to...
how many Xboxes sell for GTA 6?
I don't know how to predict this.
Yeah,
I want to say like 10 million, but like...
Yeah, I mean, that I don't hate that number guess. Because what we're talking...
Across the 2 SKUs?
Well, actually, we expect day one GTA 6 to make over $1 billion. That's the common, everyone sort of knows that number, it feels like at this point. Been reported many times over. That's about 20 million copies sold. That game's going to end up probably in the first week or so, maybe I'll even include 2 weeks, sell 35 to 40 million copies. I firmly believe that. I would say 5 million PlayStations get sold, 4 million Xboxes get sold.
Okay.
Yeah, PlayStation is still going to sell more PlayStations than Xbox. But once again, you put the fucking neon green cool ass box out there. I don't know. PlayStation
I
will
don't
sell
think
more.
that is much of a needle mover.
I'm not saying it's a needle mover, but I'm saying it's something. Like, if you're a casual and you walk in there and you're just like, I just want a box that's going to play GTA very well. I also think it depends on how well it runs on the Series S. If that game runs well on the Series S, Xbox should go in literally every single day for an entire week. Just say, we have the cheapest place to play GTA 6 on their socials every single day.
PlayStation is going to have the marketing for GTA 6, but they should have some plan to get the word out that, like, hey, we're the cheapest right now, and this is a big game. And I know if you don't have a console, like...
Yeah, like, just come over here. Yeah, you need to go and get some people to get on your box. All right. Speaking of GTA 6, headline, GTA 6 cover artwork reveal. Pre-orders begin June 25th. This is Tom Phillips over at IGN. Quote, Rockstar has just revealed the cover artwork for GTA 6 and announced that pre-orders for the long-awaited blockbuster will finally begin on June 25th. The game's artwork was revealed this morning in a brief 30-second teaser video that's now live on Rockstar's YouTube channel, or you can watch it right below. To be clear, this is not the game's next trailer. We're still waiting on that to land at some point. Maybe June 25th is the date for that too. End quote. Connor. Like, I feel like we got to go down a couple different avenues with this one. Obviously, we've been down this avenue many times over. First and foremost, you've seen the cover artwork, more GTA cover art.
More the same.
I like it.
Like the colors.
Yeah, I think that it looks cool. You have a helicopter, you got a boat, you got the main characters, like they're doing their thing.
Hot lady.
Hot lady, yeah. A few guarantees in life. Yeah. That is one of them. There will be a baddie on the cover. For sure.
The biggest thing for this trailer for me, that was the fucking music.
Oh,
man.
dude.
Oh, my God. That shit is gas.
Speaking of hot, it is 5,000 degrees in my apartment right now. I'm like, do I start just dropping buttons? And this morning I wake up, it is an ice box in here. And then, so I turned it off during stream. I should have turned it on
do you want me to turn it on right now, or do you want to just push through?
No, we can push through. We can push through. We got probably another 15 minutes or so of this podcast. We're probably going to hit 2 hours on this podcast, which is fucking... This is, I think, at this point, for sure, the longest CG&C we've ever shot, which is pretty nuts. We didn't shoot long CG&C.
We shot a 2-hour one at some point.
Yeah, it probably checks. It probably was during like Blue Point shutting down or something similar on this vein where we just go down a billion tangents.
I feel like we didn't even touch on anything with everything with Xbox.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Well, we will have more at-bats. Yeah. Like, I hate to say it. Oh, that's something... I don't want to like go down studio by studio, but... another 3 studios probably shut down at least by the time it's all said and done. Anyways,
just don't touch Obsidian.
Yeah, don't touch Obsidian, and don't touch Arcane Leon, and don't shut down Machine
Maybe
Games.
Obsidian has underdelivered this generation, but
they put out games.
They put out Grounded, which is
one
of their biggest hits, and I do think they can be used within the next framework of making these big games.
And you also have Pentiment, which was a critically acclaimed game, which they want Game of the Year type nominees. It got 10 out of 10 from IGN.
And you killed Outer Worlds 2 by making it $80 and then reverting that, but the damage was done by the time they reverted it. So
anyways, GTA 6. The music was hot. I'm playing Vice City right now, dude. I want to... I've tried to get a lot better at swearing. I've done a really bad job on this podcast. Dude, Vice City fucks. Like, Vice City gets down. And not even from the sense that they're slapping skin all the time on screen. I'm talking about from the vibes, dude. That game is just rad. It's Miami. It feels like people talk about the Scarface comparisons. Like, it's a great time playing Vice City right now. So I'm GTA up right now. Like, somebody asked me, they're like, are you going to roll into San Andreas or 4? I was like, I didn't have plans on it. I might just play a fuck ton of GTAs leading into 6. I'm having a good time. But yeah, I'm excited about this. June 25th. Easiest question, layup, 2 points. Are we getting the third trailer on the 25th?
I guarantee it.
Yeah. Oh, a Connor Evans guarantee. Is a shoe involved?
No.
Yeah, I think that we're getting this for sure, though. And at this point, is it going to be a gameplay trailer? Will we see over the shoulder somebody playing tennis, dude? You know, I don't know why this is tennis for me, but it is. Pickleball going?
I forget the exact narration that is in the GTA and Red Dead.
It's like welcome to Vice City.
Yeah, welcome to GTA 6, and I imagine that will be this trailer.
I think so too. I think that you do that here, and then you get one more launch trailer, and I think that's sort of it.
That's all it needs.
Like you said it, they could have just done the cover art, and we would have been fine. We would have been good to go.
Game sells itself.
The game can go and like have the main character fart on screen and sell another $1 billion worth. Like it's over. The conversation's over. The last part and the thing that I pulled some write-ins for. We gotta talk about the price one last time. We're gonna get the price. We will know how much GTA 6 costs because there's pre-orders. Connor, final prediction. How much is it going to cost?
$70.
I completely agree. Yeah, I think it's $70. I think that
doesn't need the PR hit, and it also doesn't need the money because it's going to sell a ton regardless.
Yep. You're going to go and make. There's going to be a $70 version. There's going to be a $100 version, and then there will be a $500 or $600 collector's version. I think that make the collector's edition as much as you want. Because that is when people are like, oh, like people would pay anything. They could make this game $100, and I do think that there would be a step down in the sales, like a legitimate step down. They can make it $80 or $90, and I think that there would be not necessarily a step down in sales, but you don't want the PR hit. And also,
with the state of the world right now, like it factors in more than ever. Like there are many people who are just not willing to spend $80 or $100 on a game and will skip it. And is that kind of a drop in the bucket for them? Maybe.
Yeah. But they're going to make all their money back on shark cards anyway.
Yeah, you want to keep the masses in your good graces.
Not even that. You just want as many people playing your game so when online comes out, you can go and make millions and billions of dollars off the people that are playing online. We go back to the PlayStation argument of why their games like Helldivers are on PC. It's like you want that large install base so you can go and start milking them for money, basically. That's what they're going to be doing here.
The main the core sales, the full price sales of this game doesn't really even fucking matter to them. It's just a matter of getting people in the door so they can get them hooked on GTA Online.
Absolutely. I'm going to bring in Night Echoes. We have a couple people that wrote in for the price. Night Echoes writes in just like you can over on Patreon and says, I think it's going to be $80. The rumors of $100 or more are unfounded. GTA doesn't need the price to price gouge gamers with the amount of money that will be spent on microtransactions and GTA Online. However, with the standard edition priced at $80, it'll be $10 above what is normal and cemented in the minds of consumers. That is truly premium gaming experience. That is a premium game experience.
Does anybody think that about Mario Kart World?
No.
With it being $80? I don't think that changes the narrative. I think it only is a negative for most people. They just get mad seeing the $80 price points rather than like, oh, this must be worth the $80 if it's $80.
I do think that they can get away with it being $80 because the rhetoric online will be it's $80 and then the direct quote for everyone will be, if any game's going to be $80, it should be GTA 6.
The only reason I think that Rockstar would charge $80 is if the pressure from across the industry, Bank of America, is actually something they're factoring in.
Yeah, they're like,
Which I feel like Rockstar is such a renegade and doesn't give a fuck about anybody else that they're probably like, fuck you guys, we're going to do what we want. That doesn't factor into our decision at all, and I think they will make it $70. The rumor of $100, that's not even a rumor. Like that's just people talking out their ass. Just being like those are gamers being like, I think it's going to be $100 because it's GTA 6 and they could charge that much. There's no like reporting or anything like that about it being over $80. No shot.
I think that 80 is the high end, and I think 70 is probably where they're going to land.
I would not be totally shocked if it is 80.
I
would be supremely shocked if it is above 80, but I am expecting 70.
I would say 78% chance it is 70, 20% chance it's 80, 2% chance it's 90 or above. That's where I'm at this point. Speaking of 90 or above, though, Stun writes in and says, I'm going to come out and say it, even though I know nobody wants to hear it. GTA 6 is going to be $90. The fact that thousands of people are going to buy the current gen consoles despite recent price hikes just for this game proves it could easily be priced at $500 and sell gangbusters. Rockstar knows pricing is such a non-issue for the sales of GTA 6. Why would they not squeeze every last penny that they can out of us? I do think this is technically for many gamers a $500 game because they will be buying consoles for it. I understand that. But you also don't want to go and you don't want people to question it. You don't want people to go and have a single hesitation. You want them to go, every single person and their mama and their grandmama and their male run. Like, you want them to go and say, I'm picking up GTA 6. I'm in. You don't want a single question in their mind. And the way that you go and do that is a $70 price tag. You can get away with 80. And
because once again, you don't even need to factor in the price for their books, like of the main game. All they care about is getting more people on GTA Online. And if they can set it at 70 and get the maximum number of people in there, that is what they are going to do.
Yeah.
Because that's the full priced game sales is chump change to them.
I will say for them and their sales down the line, though, if they did do 80 and then next holiday they wanted to go and drop it to 60 for a 25% decrease, I could see them trying to go and like have that $60 is our standard decrease on sale price and still make a shit ton of money that way, because they are going to want to make money on this game even with sales hand over fist in the year's future. This is still $1 billion type of game to produce. With that being said, I think that it's going to be 70 and the sale price will be 60 or 50, and I think that they'll be fine to go and do so. Last headline for you.
Another fun one.
I do want to say this. This is a headline that is not guaranteed. Like, it's been claimed by multiple sources, but not any of the reputable big boys are necessarily talking about it outside of Inside Gaming or Insider Gaming. So just want to go and toss that out there before we get into this headline. Connor's wearing the shirt. Headline: Bungie set to lose roughly 400 staff in summer layoffs, it is claimed. This is Charlie Champion at Insider Gaming. Quote, following the sunsetting of Destiny 2 and the generally underwhelming performance of Marathon, it seems Bungie is set for a wave of layoffs this summer with at least 50% of its workforce on the chopping block. The percentage is significant enough as is, but when you consider the size and scope of Bungie, which has around 800 staff members, that would mean that at least 400 employees are at risk of losing their jobs. The news comes from French journalist Civilian on X, who shared in a recent tweet that Bungie should, quote, expect massive layoffs this summer, end quote. He went on to elaborate that based on what he's hearing, at least 50% of Bungie's staff could be affected, end quote. Connor, as somebody that likes Marathon a whole bunch, once again, layoffs suck. This blows. Can I hop in before you you do your full bananas rant, whatever you're going to go and say about this?
Much of a take here. Hot take.
I think that Bungie is officially the smartest company of all time because they fleeced the shit out of PlayStation.
Well, Bungie, the employees and the developers,
so much.
Yeah, they don't really get a say in any of this. The higher-ups, the apparently toxic higher-ups,
Scrooge McDuck in the pool,
fucking pulled off the heist of a lifetime on Sony. Sony should not have bought Bungie. This was really, really stupid. But
so with that being said, 400 people probably going to lose their job. Some of that is due to the fact that they are most likely winding down their studio due to the fact that they are just a support for Marathon Studio.
Not working on anything
and they're
new.
Not working on anything new. You probably have a team
stuff up though.
You probably have a team of about 200 or so people that are doing the incubation for what Destiny 3 is going to be. It will be Destiny 3. 100%.
I'm not gonna go that far, but I hope it is Destiny 3. And if I were to bet, and you forced me to bet, I would say it's Destiny 3, and I think they would be stupid not to do Destiny 3. And I want Destiny 3 to happen, even though you fucking Destiny 2 freakos hate me. I still want you to get your game.
Yeah.
You got to kill them with kindness, even if they hate you. Like,
turn the other cheek.
It has been a roller coaster, a whirlwind dealing with the Destiny 2 community over the last few months.
When you say Destiny 2 community, is it? I'm curious to see, because once again, just talking this out, is it like people on our TikTok? Is it people like
in the comments on our TikTok? Anytime I talk about Marathon, people on Reddit, people on YouTube, content creators.
So, is the Marathon Reddit bombarded with Destiny 3?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
And there are entire subreddits dedicated to hating on Marathon.
Oh, okay.
The High Guard subreddit is also now dedicated to hating on Marathon.
I'm not laughing. That's fucked up, but that is hysterical. That's insane behavior.
For a game you hate and have no interest in, you guys sure do talk about it a lot. You guys are fucking obsessed with this shit. You guys are more obsessed with this game than I am, and I have like 400 hours in it.
Apparently, more obsessed with it than Destiny 2 because it stopped getting the player base that it needed.
Stopped getting the player base because they stopped supporting it. Well, they stopped supporting it because it was not financially viable to keep supporting it. It cost too much to make.
Eventually, and this is I will be the bearer of bad news, Raw. That's going to end up happening eventually with Marathon, in my opinion. Eventually, it will no longer be suitable to go and support.
Not fucking delusional like these people, man.
Exactly. That's how video games work when you're in the live service space. Unless you are Fortnite, unless you are a game by Riot, unless you are, unless you are these Minecraft, like, you don't get to get supported forever because the money doesn't make sense. You're not getting enough money in to go and get to put the money in investment. You're not getting enough money in to go and have that equation equal more money in than you're putting into the game. That is just a fact. Like that, you can't. This is the hardest part of stories like this. Is like, this makes sense. It sucks. It blows. And I do think that Bungie has been extremely mismanaged for decades at this point, or over a decade. I would say since the launch of the Forsaken Witch. It's one of the things.
Last major expansion?
No, I'm combining two. I'm talking about like Destiny 2's like first major expansion that sort of hit.
Like are Destiny 1s or 2s?
I want to say 2s.
Witch Queen?
Witch Queen was what I was going. Is that Destiny 1?
No, that's 2.
Yeah, I think Witch Queen was the one that...
Taken King for the Destiny 1 was the first major expansion. Final Shape is the last big one. Yeah.
By the way, the internet's out for everyone right now. I got the text from being like, "Hey, high winds, everything in your block is messed up." Which
hopefully mine is not. Yeah, I like to play Marathon.
Yeah. But going and having this situation like where it's been a long time since I would say they've been making moves that have gained a shit ton of players. Of course, they were like on the incline, and then all of a sudden we get the dip, and it is what it is, right?
You get the dip because Final Shape is the ending, but also you're not supporting the game like you once were, and you're taking longer to put out these updates. So of course you're getting less and less players, but it's never going to get back to the point where it is financially viable to keep pumping money into it.
So you need to go and eventually settle down. I do think that this sucks. I think that once again, the mismanagement of not having a Destiny 3 or not even a Destiny 3, whatever the fuck is next. Like, have something.
Well, Marathon was next. That was the plan.
I understand.
And they've been trying to spin stuff up over the last couple of years, but I think Sony and working under Sony has probably hindered their ability to get something off the ground because they have somebody coming in and being like, "You're not doing that."
Yeah. Once again, I think it's a good thing. At the end of the day,
but how is it a good thing when they're walking in and saying, you're not making Destiny 3? Like, how is that possible? They're not greenlighting that.
They need. I'm shocked that PlayStation hasn't greenlit Destiny 3. But then again, there must be something so broken about Bungie. I want a history lesson this a little bit. Bungie was brought in to go and make their own shit, and then also help the other teams go and make live service games.
Yeah, people are throwing on a narrative right now, like this conspiracy theory that Sony is like getting back at Bungie for fucking up Concord and Last of Us Factions. I'm like, you are talking out your ass completely. That is not based in reality.
A company that is publicly traded like Sony is doing a personal vendetta against a company that is now losing them money.
So they lose more money.
So they lose more money.
So they hurt themselves.
And then they don't get as much money. We're talking about executives that care so much about what is happening with their pockets that they're willing to go and do inhumane shit like laying off hundreds of people. Yeah, all right, guy. Like, settle down. No, I think that I do think that this, I do think to some level it is going to be a long time. It's going to be a long time, dude, where every single state of play that we ever see is going to be like, where's Destiny 3? It's going to be in every single comment. It's going to be in every... Jeff Keighley tweets out, what game do you want to see at the Game Awards? It's going to be Destiny 3. Yep. It's going to be Destiny 3 forever. With that being said,
Marathon did not kill.
I don't think so.
And is not preventing Destiny 3, though.
I don't think that it's preventing Destiny 3. I do think that if Marathon was this like smash success and was making hand over fist money,
maybe it would, but it's not.
They would be able to potentially keep more people on, because I do think that right now they're in a situation where we have 400 people working there, 200 are probably Marathon support.
a huge studio.
Oh, it's still a massive
How many
studio.
people work at Naughty Dog, Nick?
Dude, it's a larger amount than I remembered.
Just looked it up.
You did?
Because I wanted to confirm because I thought I knew the number, but
I'm going to guess 400 people.
nailed it. 400 to 500. I don't know why Bungie's studio was so big.
Because they probably had multiple teams working on one expansion and then another team working on the next expansion and maybe another one working on the next expansion.
And maybe live service games warrant a bigger team, but
for sure they do.
Where do we go going forward? I think that Marathon will continue. I think Marathon will get seasonal updates for another year.
Yeah, at least a year, maybe a year and some change.
I think they probably have maybe 100 people working on this game at this point.
Yeah, that probably checks out, maybe even less.
And this has always been a smaller game. Like, the problem is, as we talked about earlier, with the budget and the cost of this game, like, they had to restart it like 3 times.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a side project. These decisions are not them going all in on Marathon, like some people are saying. Sony and Bungie are not complete fucking idiots. They see the numbers. They know that this game is not going to like turn it around and become this mega hit. But I do think they are a bit silly for thinking in the first place that this game was going to be a hit in any major capacity. It is a hardcore extraction shooter. It is a niche genre with a weird art style that is off-putting to some people. They had to know going in that this game like was not going to make back the $250 million that they put into it.
I will argue that Arc Raiders did kind of screw them. And not in the sense that like...
They're just so different.
I understand that they're different.
They might as well not even be in the same genre.
I understand. Well, they're both extraction shooters. At the end of the day, that is just a fact.
One of them is a PvE game with light PvP, and one of them is a hardcore PvP.
What do you mean by light PvP?
On occasion, you get into gunfights with other people.
Sure. And
for the most part, everybody is running around saying, friendly, 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 let's go team up and kill people together.
It depends on what lobbies you're in.
Yeah.
With that being said, I think that Arc Raiders, and once again, Marathon didn't copy Arc Raiders. This is a game that's been in development forever. Anyone that says that is insane. With that being said, there was a market that I could see Sony and Bungie looking down being like, we don't have the console extraction shooter. Like, this is a space that's open. We want to be that. Arc Raiders beat them to the punch by 9 months. And then it immediately had to deal with the comparison point. That every casual was comparing it. And is this game meant for casuals? No. But the conversation around this game became so toxic so fast, even before the Destiny conversation started. And a large part of the toxicity is due to Arc Raiders. And once again,
Arc Raiders, the art style, the anti-woke crowd who sees any colors or woman and say that it's woke, so it's bad. The Destiny 2 community, streamers not playing it because it's not cool to play it. Like, this game is just fucked from every angle.
Reason it wasn't cool to play it for a lot of people was it's not Arc Raiders. We wanted to go back to that. That was the initial point that like. There's so many issues nowadays. I mean, Arc Raiders is completely fucked. Like, not completely, but Arc Raiders also, the people that made that game right now are also Scrooge McDuck, just back. Yeah. Like, they're fine. They got enough gold behind them that they're Smaug and fucking Lord of the Rings just sitting on a pile of it. So the issue though right now is this sucks. I do think that Bungie will still exist. They will be a smaller team. They need to start incubating the next projects. And I do think the good news is whenever they get the next thing going is, I'm not saying they're going to hire back these people in particular, but there will be job listings from Bungie.
And this is par for the course for game development.
Yeah.
You release the new game. Oftentimes there are people who are let go behind the scenes, or all the contractors are let go. So it's not this like big story. But
that's why you have contractors.
Usually you scale down as you start to work on the next thing where you don't need as many people, and then as you get closer and closer, you start to ramp up and get more people in-house to help you get over the finish line. That is what I expect to happen here. Real quick, I did say I think 100 people working on Marathon right now. I would say probably 250 people working on Marathon, actually. 150 of the 400 probably spinning up the new thing, and then slowly but surely more and more Marathon people getting pulled over to the new thing. Then you start hiring more people as you get further into development, and then we get what is next. And I hope that is Destiny 3 for all you fucking sickos who hate me. But
they don't hate you.
They hate people who like Marathon, dude. It is weirdo behavior, man. I'm telling you. But I wish nothing for the best for them, and I hope they get what they want, and that we all get what we want. Because
I want Destiny 3 too.
We get Marathon support for the next year, I think that's more than enough for me. If the Marathon gets shut down tomorrow, I'm more than happy. I got 400 hours out of this game that I spent $40 on. Like, I'm totally stoked. And I am not under the illusion with any live service game that they're meant to or will live forever.
Yeah.
So, like, I got my money's worth. Who fucking cares? Like, but I think parading around, cheering on the end of Marathon is weird.
I think
it is self-sabotaging. And a lot of people like to throw around the Apex Legends Titanfall situation where they're like, if you want more Titanfall, you better go support Apex Legends. It's like, buddy, you guys didn't buy Titanfall 2. That's why you're not getting more Titanfall 3. You bought Destiny. Destiny is commercially viable, but if you want Bungie to continue to exist long enough to get more Destiny, you need Marathon to do it. Like, at least
you need the studio to not shut down.
Yes.
You know, like that's the big
enough
thing
to
there.
keep them alive. Like, like cheering on lower numbers. I'm not saying go play the fucking game.
You want to know something messed up that I thought of?
What?
It's never gonna happen. But I was like, what if Sony's like, Bungie, we're pulling the plug. You guys don't got it anymore, and they give the Destiny IP to like Bend, like just like something that's like great because they own Bungie. I mean, they own the Destiny IP for sure at this point. They could totally.
I don't know. They have a weird bespoke relationship.
They do, but I think that it's the classic thing. Even with the Phil Spencer aspect of bringing in the Xbox studios that he did, he was like, "Yeah, go and do your own shit, make art." And I think that that's the PlayStation aspect. They're like, "Yeah, do your own shit, like go and just make us money with Destiny."
Mm-hmm.
The second that you fuck up, though, the fucking Daddy Herman Hulst has got to walk through the door, toss an elbow, and say, "No, you're making Destiny 3," or "No, we're taking this IP and we're doing something with it." Everyone right now is in a IP frenzy. You need the massive IP to go and allow you to do all the other fun shit. And when you have an IP like Destiny, it's like, we gotta do something with this. What has Sony been working on? Why is Blue Point shut down?
They're working on a weird live service game for some fucking reason.
I'm
like, when is it going to stop? When are they going to learn the lesson?
I think that the lesson's learned. I think that, and I hate to say it, the Blue Point is the catalyst of the lesson. They are the team that got shut down because they had to go and learn this lesson in the same way that
apparently they wanted to work on that fucking game, man.
They wanted
God
to work
of
on
War live service
I know,
game.
which once again,
they need to take some of the blame for this. I don't want Blue Point to go away either, but like, and I do think that.
But they also want to work on a Bloodborne.
The killing
remake.
blow was the Bloodborne situation, and not getting to work on that because of Miyazaki. Apparently,
yeah.
If they were able to do that, they would still be around. But like pitching then a Ghost of Tsushima spinoff, saying you wanted to work on the God of War live service game, like that is your own fault for saying yes to these things or wanting to do these things.
Yeah, it really depends on where this all lands when it comes to Bend. I think I don't even know how we got on Bend. Oh, because we're just on PlayStation Studios with Bungie. Right now, we need the resurgence of a couple of these studios to really help bolster the PlayStation lineup year after year. So we're not just relying on partnerships like Arc System Works and PlayStation going and making a game like Marvel Telecom Fighting Souls. With that being said, it's a strategy that's kind of working out for them right now.
That's how you have to do the live service push at this point.
Yeah, you need a partner.
Are some of them going to get away from you in the future, like Arrowhead did with Helldivers 2? Yes, but at least you got that one under your belt, and you got a win for a live service game. And I think that Marvel Tokon is going to be another hit for them. But then you are not taking these big risks where you're buying entire studios and bankrolling them, and then have a Concord situation or a Marathon situation occur.
Connor, to close out this episode, what's one thing this weekend that you're excited to play about video games, just in general? We need some good news. We need a palate cleanser.
Like I said, I kind of want to play Kingdom Hearts, but I mean, The Witcher 3, Marathon, and more Rebirth are my plans right now.
I'm really enjoying my time with Disco Elysium. Video games are cool, everyone. Just a reminder, even when there's shit shows like this, if you made it to the end of this episode, thank you so much. This is obviously a long one. It's a tough one, but
I so badly want to stop talking about Layoffs.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing over and over again. There's not even that much new insight you can give into it. It's just, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But I do think we did a good job today because there's a lot of things connected
nuances
to these layoffs that are fun to discuss, but like oftentimes it's just like bad. Things are bad.
With that being said, video games remain cool. We get a lot of them. It's a lot of fun. If you support the show, if you like these long ass episodes, if you like what we do here at Cope64 and want to keep the lights and mics on, go and support over on Patreon. And if you support over at the highest tier, you get your name read at the end of each and every podcast we do here at Cope64. Amazing members like Smile Smiles,
Creighton B,
my man Tanji,
Schmung Dingle,
the Scooby-Doo Right Sound,
Brute Halk,
Chad Charrington III,
Roland K,
Leroy Jenkins,
40,
Awesome,
Humunga Dunga,
Night Echoes,
Niberous Finest,
Caleb Beef,
Zodiac,
Silent Hills X,
Cash Art,
Triple Boy Jake,
Jakey P,
Pitch and Power,
Sunlight Phantom,
Chuzar,
MG Dunbar,
Mr. Munchies,
Malcolm the Dog,
Farmer Spud,
Rocket Tater,
Nofi,
The Dankest Mike,
Swampy Bits,
Sconesy C,
He's a Killer Cheese,
Aloha Alley,
Scooterman,
Centuro,
DJ Carlos,
Neutral Sphere,
Eli the Unusual,
The Neutron Style,
Easton C,
Kingdom Hearts Rules,
Crispy,
DJ Zach B,
Uli,
Jacob D,
Big Mac,
Metal Nate,
the Patty Cake,
Metalcore Cowboy,
Mega,
Yogi,
Damn,
Holden M,
Rock,
Voodoo,
Milky Sins,
Reggie Ranks,
Alex the Golden,
Andrew H,
Master Diz,
Cannon Fodder Games,
Only One, Rufus, yeah.
and Kingdom Hearts Sucks.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. We will see you in the next one. Peace out.